Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
I'm Christine Lisi. Could Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucs be headed for a breakup? Sources tell ESPN's Shams Charania, the two-time NBA MVP, and his agent are having conversations with the team about his future and whether his best fit is remaining in Milwaukee or a move elsewhere. A resolution to the talks expected in the coming weeks. Milwaukee's dropped 8 of 9, is 11th in the East. Past moves make it difficult for the Bucs to improve their roster in ways that would please Giannis, says ESPN NBA analyst Chiney Ogwumike.
And I'm not surprised because they've exhausted all options, in my opinion. They not only emptied the cabinet, they emptied the kitchen, and on top of it, for their future, they mortgaged their house. So what else is left for them to sort of move, whether it is with assets or just on the team, to maintain this expectation and vision that they collaborated on to win a championship?
Shams also reports before Chris Paul's shocking ouster from the Clippers, he and Coach Ty Lue were not on speaking terms for several weeks. The team felt Paul's leadership style had become disruptive. NFL Chiefs rookie left tackle Josh Simmons on injured reserve following surgery to repair an injured left wrist, so he's out at least the next 4 games.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Thursday, I'll tell you why one of the teams I picked to make the Super Bowl is facing an elimination game in Week 14. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Hey.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Signing day is what day it is.
Hump day.
Some guys signed.
It's hump day.
Some guys didn't.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Some guys will.
Hump day.
Some guys won't.
It's hump day.
We'll have it all broken down for you.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
It's also a Whiskey Wednesday.
Hump day.
That means Taylor Calandro's here for Bourbon Dictionary.
It's hump day.
It's also the day we talk to the Saints opposing media.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Greg Auman.
Hump day.
Our guy.
It's hump day.
Fox Sports.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Buccaneers.
Hump day.
In an hour.
It's hump day.
Russ Mitchell.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I'm sure he'll have lots to say.
Hump day.
All right. It is National Signing Day. We got a ton to do, so let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
We do have some staff news we want to get to here in just a smidge for LSU. That's coming up in a second. But, all right, it is National Signing Day, and as it sits right now, as we look at the Tigers, they came into the day with 15 commitments, and presently, Jabari Mack, Bryson Martinez, Corey Barber, Braden Allen, Adez Ellis, Isaiah Washington, Aiden Hall, J.C. Anderson, Ryan Meeret, and Richard Anderson. 10 of the 15 have signed. So they're still waiting on, actually it's 16 now that they've added the commitment from Corey Barber today. So they're still waiting on 6 more. Lamar Brown, Deuce Geralds, Trenton Henderson, 3 big ones, Haven Finney, Dylan Purter, and Bryson Cooley. So that's who we're still waiting on. We'll run through a little bit here what we know. Let me start with Brown and Anderson, because that was the big story on Tuesday. And we told you that Richard Anderson and Lamar Brown, each with a little uncertainty on the defensive staff, uncertainty about Frank Wilson, were likely to hold off from signing on Wednesday. I had a call late Tuesday night that there was about a 3-hour meeting at football ops. Remember, they're in a dead period, so the prospect can't go see the coach. That ended after Sunday. So, remember Lamar Brown was up there to meet Lane Kiffin on Sunday. Well, after Sunday, dead period, nobody could go up there as far as players. So last night, Richard Anderson's coach, Bryce Brown from Edna Carr, and his representatives went to football ops. They had a 3-hour meeting with Lane Kiffin, Blake Baker, and general manager Billy Glasscock. I was told that meeting was very productive, provided a lot of clarity, made everyone feel much better about the situation, and that they were going to explain all this to Richard. He was going to sleep on it and decide if he was going to sign today, and ultimately Richard Anderson did, in fact, sign with the LSU Tigers today, which is fantastic news. You were talking about a 5-star, the number 1 defensive tackle in the country, a kid from Edna Carr in New Orleans, and someone who's been committed to you, has reaffirmed his commitment to you, someone you absolutely want in this class, and ultimately you do, in fact, get Richard Anderson committed, and not only committed, but signed here on National Signing Day. So one of your 2 5-stars officially in the boat, an LSU Tiger, Richard Anderson, the number 1 defensive lineman in the country, the number 24 overall prospect in the country, a composite 5-star. So awesome news there. Lamar Brown still has not signed yet. There was word out of University High today that Brown is going to hold off. He's not going to sign today. He'll wait. I did have a couple of phone calls literally right as we were coming on the air. A lot of people have wondered, is this a late push from some of the other schools that recruited him? Of course, LSU, Texas A&M, Miami were kind of among those finalists for Lamar Brown. Maybe are they trying to throw money at Lamar here in the 11th hour? I was told literally minutes before we came on air that is not the case. This is a situation with Lamar where he just wants more clarity on the defensive staff. Is Blake Baker going to be here? Who is going to be his position coach? Is Frank Wilson going to be on the staff? And that's something that's not going to be answered today. Blake Baker interviewed for the Tulane job earlier this week, and as I understand it, the athletic director there would prefer to have a coach who has head coaching experience. But there are a lot of boosters and people within the Tulane ecosystem that want Blake Baker to be the coach. And Blake Baker is actually the betting favorite, as of right now, to be the Tulane head coach. So while I'm told Blake has agreed verbally to be back at LSU and join Lane Kiffin's staff, that could certainly change if his alma mater offers him the head coaching job. That's just very obvious. It should be very obvious to all of us. And we'd applaud Blake and wish him the best, in that phase. But this is going to be something worth watching with Blake Baker, because if Baker does get the Tulane job, he is likely going to bring those 2 assistants that came with him from Missouri, Jake Olson and Kevin Peoples. Well, Kevin Peoples is the edge coach, and that's the position that Lamar Brown is going to play. So, yes, it absolutely matters who's going to be here on staff in those positions in particular, with these 2 defensive linemen that we're discussing. So, Lamar Brown, during his time His primary recruiter is Kevin Peoples, and his secondary recruiter is Frank Wilson. So we still don't know what's going to happen yet with Coach Frank. So I think it's just a little bit of due diligence here, not rushing to signing. That's what I understand as of right now. There's been a lot of talk about Frank Wilson, and I don't consume a lot of content, y'all. I mean, I create a lot of content if you follow any of what I do. So it's very hard for me to spend time consuming when I'm creating a lot of time. But when I start to get peppered with questions on certain things, I know something's buzzing. And so I'm not exactly sure what people are saying, but I know there's some question about Frank Wilson's roles and some of these guys not signing. I can tell you unequivocally today that Frank Wilson has told these guys, sign with LSU. Like, it's going to be fine, sign with LSU. Like, do you remember when Frank Wilson was introduced as the interim head coach at LSU? Like, remember that press conference? Like, after Brian Kelly was fired, they promote Frank Wilson, and his job is like to keep this thing together. Like, this is what Frank said about LSU.
I just happen to be the caretaker at this moment for this wonderful institution that we so love. It's our flagship state university. We have tremendous pride in it. I will do my very best and die trying to represent us as a university, as a state, as a community, to the best of my ability, with dignity, with honor, with pride, the way LSU has always been and will always be.
Like, do you honestly think that man is like sabotaging something? Like, I can't believe I actually have to waste breath talking about that stupidity. But please stop that, whoever is starting that. That's absurd. Anyway, so those are the two big fish right now. Anderson is signed. We wait on Brown, but it sounds like it's going to be okay. I know I have talked about in the past high school NIL being a factor. Because remember, in Louisiana, you can pay high school athletes. Like, the collective can do high school NIL deals. So the collective can pay high school athletes. You can't do that with the college athletes anymore. Everything has to go through a clearinghouse. That standard is not there for high school NIL. So I can tell you, like, LSU's, the By Traditions Collective has paid Lamar Brown and Richard Anderson and Deuce Gerald and Haven Finney and Trenton Henderson. Like, these guys have gotten money, and they are contractually, there are buyout clauses in those deals where if they ultimately flip, they have to pay back the money they've been given. Now, we're not talking about like 7-figure amounts here, okay? So it's not like it's tenable amounts that if a school wanted to get this big-time prospect, they would pay that money back. But it is something to consider, these guys that have already been paid by the LSU collective to sign, and ultimately you think they'd get this across the finish line. So we'll keep an eye on that. Also of note, everyone is making their prediction that the quarterback who's committed to South Carolina, Landon Duckworth, is expected to flip to LSU. As of this moment, that has not happened yet, but that is expected to happen. And when you think about it, LSU is in such desperate need for a quarterback. And Duckworth visited LSU for the Louisiana Tech weekend. There's a bunch of photos of him with Lamar Brown. Obviously, that was a different staff, but it's someone who was committed to an SEC school that who's from Jackson, Alabama. So clearly, Lane Kiffin is familiar with him and the staff. They did their evaluation. He's the number 10 quarterback in the country, the number 144 national prospect. And you look at LSU's quarterback room, Michael Van Buren, Colin Hurley, that's it. So, I mean, does Juwan Johnson count? Okay, maybe. Are we talking about Emil Picarella as a walk-on? Okay, maybe. But Ole Miss this year on their roster has 6 quarterbacks. 6 quarterbacks on their roster this year. So LSU's got to go add bodies in that room, and Lane Kiffin's going to do it. It looks like they might get Duckworth as well, according to all the predictions that are out there, that it looks like it's going to happen. If and when it does, we'll certainly talk about it. But Tigers have already had a really productive day with a few big fish still out there. They're waiting to sign. Bryson Cooley, Billy Embody was the first report. Bryson Cooley out of Laurel, Mississippi, big offensive tackle. He's being recruited also by Ole Miss in Alabama. He'll wait to sign on Friday. We talked about Haven Finney, the cornerback out of the state of California. Of course, he going to want clarity on Corey Raymond, whereas, Haven Finney Sr. was on this show after Haven committed. I mean, this is a Corey Raymond play. If Corey's here, I believe Haven Finny will be here. And then Deuce Gerald, that's another one who I know has been paid by the LSU collective already with another big lump sum due at signing, who was supposed to sign today but has put it off. He's now expected to sign by Friday, so before the end of the signing period. So we'll wait and see how it all plays out. All right, it is After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. Our show Open Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with a great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. Toast the new Tigers and toast new head coach Lane Kiffin and his staff with delicious ice-cold Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the LSU Tigers. Make sure you grab those officially licensed LSU cans or 16-ounce aluminum bottles. Perfect size, perfect for tailgating, drinking out by the outdoor fire pit, whatever it may be, as this cold weather's out there. Make sure you raise a Bud with the delicious ice-cold taste of Bud Light, the official beer of the LSU Tigers. Okay, we'll knock out a quick break, y'all. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. A ton to do here as we talk signing day. The Saints are back on the practice field as well. We'll get you an injury report. We will talk Saints-Bucs with Greg Auman in 1 hour from right now from Fox Sports. Russ Mitchell will be here in hour 3. We'll have the latest on the Blake Baker Tulane conversation. Ton to do, and glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
R-E-V. Let's rev. Are you tired of slow internet? Are you tired of internet that goes out every time there's a stiff breeze around your neighborhood? Well, it's time, y'all, to rev. R-E-V. Let'sRev.com, Let'sRev.com, Let'sRev.com. Join the 70,000 Louisiana homeowners and business owners that trust Rev. It's time to switch, y'all. Lightning fast speeds, 5 gigs, backed by the power of an all-fiber network and 90 years of local service. When you call Rev, you are talking to a local person in our market. So, switch today. Internet, cable, home automation, all of it. Let's Rev. R-E-V. Let'sRev.com. Let'sRev.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Children's School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I received at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Attention diesel mechanics. River Parish Contractors has an immediate full-time opening with benefits. Valid licenses and TWIC card is required to apply. Call or text Big Jake today at 985-479-9858 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on Apply Now. Come be part of the team that values hard work, has a high standard of excellence, and delivers projects on time and safely. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Do you have an update on Justin?
Justin, yeah, he's got his knee. We'll see how that progresses. Obviously, potential for some missed time there, but we'll let it progress.
Kellen Moore on Monday after the Saints' loss in Miami when he was asked about Justin Reed. The Saints were back on the practice field here today on Wednesday as they're getting ready for their game down in Tampa against the Buccaneers. And Justin Reed was absent at practice today, we would assume, with that knee injury. Also absent from practice, Alvin Kamara, Taliesin Fuaga, and wide receiver Chris Olave. So those are four pretty significant injuries. Wait for the full injury report to come out to know exactly what their status is at this point in the week. It's important to note that you have time before Sunday's game to get them healthy and ready to play against Tampa. And Lord knows you love all four of those guys. I mean, you're talking about four starters right there and significant players, three starters on offense and then Justin Reed at safety. But it'll be very curious to see, as you're talking about a team that's already been decimated on their offensive line and at receiver, what direction they go if they keep seeing more attrition there defensively. Moore was also asked about the depth at safety and sort of what they do and where they go if, in fact, Justin Reed isn't available.
Just been really impressed. You know, TB, Howden, these guys have been like prepared all year long, and they prepare like pros. They do all this stuff on special teams that has a huge positive impact on our team. When their opportunity is called upon, they seem to make plays every single time out there. I mean, Howden's got the, touchdown this year, against the Giants. Terrell seems to pop out there and make a big play on some critical down. The Giants last week, this week, PBU's back-to-back weeks. And so, we feel fortunate. These guys have played a bunch of football. They're really smart players. They got really good futures in this league. And so for us to have acquired that kind of depth in that position has certainly helped us as we've navigated all these different pieces.
It's important to mention, just because you play a bunch doesn't necessarily mean you're playing well. And even if you have stats, doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to translate. The example that I often give, do you remember Bobby Richardson? Bobby Richardson was an undrafted free agent defensive lineman from Indiana that the Saints signed. And he was one of the Saints in his rookie season, became a starter. As a UDFA, became a starter and one of the leading tacklers on the team. The next year, he didn't make the roster. It was more of an illustration of how bad you were at that position than him actually being a quality, competent starter in the NFL. So I'm going to be interested to continue to watch that position as it develops. We'll see what happens here with Justin Reed. It's also worth noting that when you kind of look at absences and injury reports, you sort of look at what the Saints do with some transactions. So there were two players on Wednesday the Saints did announce have been elevated from the practice squad. One is wide receiver Dante Pettis. The other is offensive guard Willie Sherman. Now, Pettis being elevated might signify a deeper issue there with Chris Olave this week. It is worth noting that Devon Vele finally had his big breakout game this past weekend, the leading receiver in the game against the Miami Dolphins, where he had 9 catches for nearly 100 yards, which was great to see considering what the Saints gave up. You're trading a 4th-round pick for Devon Vele and just has not been an effective player. But 8 for 93 was the stat line. Caught all 8 of his targets. He had a touchdown in the game. So maybe Devon Vele turning the corner and becoming a more impactful target for Tyler Shuck. And, Kellen Moore talked about why Devon Vele had that opportunity on Sunday.
You earn those opportunities as you go, and he's been a very productive player for a couple years now in the NFL. I think he's going to have a big role in our offense moving forward for quite a while, and so I feel great about him. I'm excited with where he's going. I thought, his combination of doing some of the dirty work in the run game and then creating some of these hard down pass game stuff certainly showed up.
It it is not intellectually honest to say that he's been a very productive player for a couple of years. That's just not true. He played in 13 games a year ago for Denver. He did have 41 catches, which is a nice complimentary piece. That's maybe a good number 3. But you cannot say he's been a very productive player. And then obviously this year in New Orleans, prior to Sunday, he had 9 catches. So you can't tell me that he's been a very productive player for 2 leagues. Now maybe that's arguing semantics, but hopefully that is a springboard, an illustration of what he's capable of if they're able to kind of get him going a little bit further. And then obviously as we look at the offensive line as well, a depth piece there as you elevate Sherman. So William Sherman, 6'4", 300-pounder. He's out of Colorado. He was a 6th-round pick of the Patriots in 2021. Played in 1 game as a rookie with New England. Spent time bouncing around practice squads with the Patriots and with Denver. Played in 2 games with New Orleans so far this year as he's kind of been up and down a little bit. So one worth watching there on the interior of that Saints offensive line as they move throughout this week. As the Saints get ready to take on a Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, which is I never thought that we'd see this late in the season, but my goodness, Tampa finds themselves in a dogfight in the division with the Carolina Panthers. It looked early in the season like Tampa would just run away and hide in winning another division title, but as of right now, Tampa at 7-5 leads the division by only a half a game over Carolina, which is at 7-6. So this is one for Tampa that you look in there at home. You got to say, man, from Tampa's perspective, this is one you got to get at home against New Orleans, a game where you are going to be heavily favored. And they have a favorable schedule ahead, Tampa does. They play the Falcons, at the Panthers, at the Dolphins, then home against the Panthers as well. So they get the Saints, Falcons, Panthers, Dolphins, Panthers. So 4 of their last 5 are going to be against division opponents, and they'll have the opportunity head-to-head with Carolina to take matters in their own hands. But you want to buy yourself a buffer, and especially with a division game for a tiebreaker. This is a big one for Tampa. By the way, the Bucs today also, here on Wednesday, did open up the 21-day practice window for receivers Mike Evans and Jalen McMillan. So they're eligible to be activated off of IR anytime during the 21-day window. I don't know if it's realistic to assume Evans would play this weekend, but that's certainly possible considering they have opened the 21-day practice window for Evans, so stay tuned for that. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics, OLOLRMC.com/LSU. That's the website if you want to learn more, OLOLRMC.com/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake, proud to welcome Lane Kiffin and his family to Baton Rouge and to our community. And, of course, when Baton Rouge calls, champions answer, as they're fond of saying. Coach Kiffin takes the helm, energy building, excitement in the air, and next season's work starts now. Behind the scenes, every day, on and off the field. As championship health partners, LSU and FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake providers, are in the huddle, keeping students and teams healthy, supporting campus life, and preparing everyone for what's ahead. From checkups to training to day-to-day care, focus is on giving their best when it matters most. FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, and LSU, championship health partners. Learn more at OLOLRMC.com/LSU. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Got a lot to do here on signing day. Again, if you're just joining us, the big headline news of the day, LSU did, in fact, get a signature from 5-star Richard Anderson. So there was some question about that. Corey Barber, the one-time Ole Miss commit who decommitted yesterday, did flip to LSU. And Braden Allen from LCA, Lafayette Christian, who was an Oklahoma commit who decommitted from Oklahoma, he signed with LSU today as well. So it does sort of illustrate what we were talking about yesterday with Shea Dixon. Lane Kiffin is coming in, and he's making over that receiver room. You've had 2 guys currently receivers, Kylan Billiot, Jelani Watkins. They're announced they're planning to enter the transfer portal. You had 2 receivers who had been committed to LSU, Kervin Johnson and Kenny Darby, who were sort of processed out of the class. It's a terrible way to say it, but it's just what it is. Staff comes in, does their evaluations, and they determine who still has a committable offer and who doesn't. And then obviously with Jalen Chapman as well, And then they added Ryan Muret, who was an Ole Miss commit who flipped into the class. They added Corey Barber. They added Braden Allen. So you can see what's happening, right? I mean, this new staff is making their personnel decisions. So we'll continue to follow that as it goes along. And the ones that we're still kind of keeping an eye on, Lamar Brown, Deuce Geralds, Trenton Henderson, Haven Finney, Dylan Purter, and Bryson Cooley. Those are the ones that are committed, the 6 that are committed but have not signed yet. And Geralds, Brown, Finney, and Cooley are the 4 that we're not expecting to put pen to paper today, but should before Friday, so we'll see how this all goes. And as we have updates, we'll pass it along. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll go around the SEC next on AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness.
AFR.
I want to remind you about our friends over at River City's 1 Hour Air. Woke up this morning, it was 32 degrees. I mean, I get it that it's December, but it doesn't feel like we should be in 32-degree weather yet. But that's what it was today. Bundled up, and better believe we had that heater pumping. Thankfully, our technician, Harley, was at our house a couple of weeks ago doing our preseason heater safety check. Tell you all the time, I practice what I preach. I highly recommend it. And when you're a member of the River City's 1 Hour Air membership club, their maintenance club, you get that seasonal maintenance for free. That's complimentary for all service club members. So the AC tune-up in the spring and the heater safety check in the winter, those are complimentary. I mean, that ends up in itself paying for the service. And then you get front-of-the-line service when you have an issue. You get a membership club pricing. And as you mentioned, complimentary seasonal maintenance. Make sure you call River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This menu is a masterpiece. Delivers every time.
This is the worst party ever. Raisin Cane's!
Let's go!
The party is saved!
Peter, Mr. Billingsley.
Celebrate the holidays with Raisin Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades. But our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose. Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
got this report up now at LouisianaSports.net, but I shared it on Twitter just a smidge ago, or X, whatever. Some more staff updates for Lane Kiffin. I've been told 2 more coaches joining Lane Kiffin's staff. Exact specific roles still to be determined. Eric Wolford is joining Lane Kiffin's staff. He's a 30-year coaching vet. He played at Kansas State in the 90s, played 1 season of pro football, then got into coaching, and he has been like all over professionally with as a coach with a ton of experience and a ton of SEC experience. So he started his coaching career as a GA at Kansas State in 95. Then he's been an offensive line coach everywhere he's been. So his whole career just offensive line coach. That's all he's coached. Emporia State, South Florida, Houston, North Texas, Arizona, Illinois, South Carolina in 2009, Youngstown State, then 2 seasons with the 49ers in 2015-2016, then South Carolina for 4 seasons, Kentucky for 1 season, Alabama under Nick Saban for 2 seasons as the offensive line coach, and then 24 and 25 the last 2 seasons back at Kentucky. So a dude who spent the last 9 years of his career, of his 30-year coaching career, as an SEC offensive line coach from 2017 through 2025. So a very experienced offensive line coach. I do not know yet if he is going to be the offensive line coach, if he's going to be an offensive analyst. Remember, the Kentucky staff just got fired with Mark Stoops being fired. So you have an option here for a very experienced SEC offensive line coach. The other thing I'll tell you is if Wolford is the new LSU offensive line coach, and again, I do not have confirmed yet the role for Wolford. I just know that he is going to be on staff. That means John Garrison would not be coming to LSU, and I've explained this, but I'll connect the dots. So on John Garrison, the offensive line coach, Kevin Smith, the running backs coach, did not come to Baton Rouge on Sunday. Their wives visited Baton Rouge on Monday. Actually, Kevin Smith, to tell you how close the Kiffins are to the Smiths, Kevin Smith's son was sitting in the front row next to Knox Kiffin at the press conference. Like their families are very close. And Lane Kiffin wants Kevin Smith here. Now, but I understand it. The Smiths and the Garrisons kind of feel like, I mean, they're very close. I'm not sure the families are eager to leave Oxford. And it kind of feels like if one came, they'd both be coming. So we'll see. But if in fact Wolford is being hired as the offensive line coach, that means Garrison's not coming. And if Garrison's not coming, that could mean Smith's not coming. If that happens, then Frank Wilson would then stay, I would assume, in that role as LSU's running backs coach. So to be determined. I'm just connecting dots. I'm being clear. I'm speculating. What I do know is that Wolford is joining the LSU staff. Also, Dwike Wilson, I hope I'm saying that right, D-W-I-K-E, I think it's Dwike Wilson, is coming on from Ole Miss as well. He has spent the last several years as Ole Miss's director of recruiting. So LSU's director of recruiting this year was Donovan Tate. With Wilson coming over, it would stand to reason. Again, I want to be clear. I am speculating. I do not know what's going to happen with the current staff members. It stands to reason if Lane Kiffin's bringing someone in that role from his staff, the existing person in that role in this staff probably doesn't have that spot anymore. So I don't want to be speculative. We'll wait and see how this all transpires. But again, 2 more additions to LSU staff that I could tell you. Eric Wolford is in Baton Rouge. He's at football ops. And then Dwike Wilson, forgive me again for not knowing the pronunciation. That's on me. I should have gotten it before I came on air, but this all happened in the last 5 minutes before I came on air today. So in any event, 2 new staffers joining Lane Kiffin's staff now in Baton Rouge. And as we learn roles and more of these staffers, we'll certainly pass it along here on AFR. All right, it is after further review. We'll go around the SEC in just a quick second. I do want to remind you about our friends over at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry with 10 locations, 2 in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport. If you are thinking about popping the question here as we get close to Christmas, the holiday season is a time when a lot of people like to pop the questions. Romantic, a great time with family together. Go to Lee Michaels. Thrill her with a gift in the red box, and they have something for any budget. The thing I love telling you about Lee Michaels, it's very much like I use the Goldilocks analogy all the time. You know, boutique jewelers tend to be small, without a great selection, and overpriced. The big box stores are way more cookie cutter, and it's very impersonal. You go to Lee Michaels, you're going to get that awesome Lee Michaels experience because they're buying for 10 stores. They have a great selection and can give you a great value. It's Lee Michaels. Thrill her with a gift in the red box this Christmas from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Okay, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference.
Texas A&M! OC Colin Klein is expected to replace the soon-to-be retiring Chris Kleiman as the head coach at his alma mater, Kansas State. The Manhattan Mercury was the first to report the news. Klein's only 36 years old. He's in his second season at A&M under Mike Elko. Was initially hired back in December of 2023. Led the Aggies this year to an 11-1 record, semifinalist for the Broyles Award. Klein is expected to remain at A&M while it competes in the college football playoff. Go figure. A coach can stay with their team during the college football playoff while coaching somewhere else.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
Defensive end Dylan Stewart was limited in the second half of the season, playing through pain, missed the Coastal Carolina game. Shane Beamer gave some clarity, said Stewart, quote, basically had a broken back. Now, I don't know what basically had a broken back means. I mean, you either have a broken back or you ain't got a broken back. No surgery needed, but it's going to take time and rest to heal properly for Stewart.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
Kentucky football is hiring Pat Biondo as its general manager. He's the Oregon director of recruiting. So a raise there and a promotion as he heads to Lexington. Biondo has 3 seasons of SEC experience. Before he was at Oregon, he spent 3 seasons at Texas A&M under Jimbo Fisher.
The Vanderbilt Commodores.
Break up the doors. Yesterday flipped a 5-star quarterback from Georgia. Today, Vandy flipped a receiver from Bama. 6'2", 201. Owen Cable is his name, and he's going to be a Commodore instead of a member of the Crimson Tide.
The Auburn Tigers.
Auburn landed a commitment from defensive lineman Tavian Branch, part of the 2026 class. He's out of Pennsylvania. Had been committed to Penn State, reopened his recruitment after James Franklin was fired. 6'3", 300-pounder, the 15th best player in Pennsylvania.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
4-star wide receiver Legend Bay. Legend Bay has flipped from Ohio State to Tennessee. He's out of Texas, the number 7 athlete in the country, a top 150 player nationally. Tennessee also flipped top 100 edge rusher Carter Gooden from UCLA.
The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
And State flipped a pass rusher Micah Nickerson from Mizzou, a little SEC on SEC crime. Nickerson's a 4-star prospect. Committed to Mississippi State in June, flipped to Missouri in September, and now back to the home state Bulldogs. He's the number 13 edge in the country. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. As a matter of fact, was over there today, man. Saw Gabe, saw Mary, my friends over at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Had to pick up my my vials of BPC 157. It's the peptide that I tell you about that I've been taking. Amazing when it comes to recovery or injuries. Also, it's a pentadecapeptide. It means it's a combination of 15 different amino acids. It's derived from gastric juice, so it's known to help with gut health. So people with IBS or Crohn's or ulcerative colitis, if you have gut issues, BPC 157 could work wonders for you. Just learn more. Learn more. These are non-pharmaceutical options to help you live a fuller, healthier life. yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Okay, quick break. We'll come back, wrap up hour number 1. Taylor will be here for a little Bourbon Dictionary. Got a Christmas party coming? Get your booze questions in. It's AFR.
After further review.
Christmas time is here. Oh, my goodness. Erica last night was up till like 3 in the morning. She's decorating our mantle. There's foliage, greenery on our mantle. Apparently a new thing this year is you go across the mantle and then just down one side. It's not hanging even. No, seriously. I don't know anything about this, but apparently it doesn't hang evenly. So you look at our mantle, there's greenery across one side and then all the way down the other to the ground. That's it. That's a new thing. Anyway, whatever you want to design with or decorate with this Christmas, make sure you get to Clegg's Nursery. Any of the 4 locations, Sigan Air Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Clegg's Nursery has Christmas trees, real, your live Christmas trees, and your artificial trees. They've got poinsettias, and nobody has a better selection of poinsettias than Clegg's Nursery. And all of your great decor. So buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
Attention diesel mechanics, River Parish Contractors has an immediate full-time opening with benefits. Valid licenses and TWIC card is required to apply. Call or text Big Jake today at 985-479-9858 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on Apply Now. Come be part of the team that values hard work, has a high standard of excellence, and delivers projects on time and safely. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal. Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's. One love. Let's go.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. They're the gang with the slang.
Keep it 100. I don't know what you're talking about.
This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
I don't understand.
All right, let's do it. Get your booze questions in. Email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Yo, dude, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm doing awesome. Last couple nights I've gotten a little sleep, so I'm actually feeling more like myself. Fired up for it.
Nice.
Yeah, for real, man.
What's going on with you, man?
You know, what you'd assume. Staff changes, all that sort of stuff, signing day and whatnot, and trying to work in a glass of brown water every now and again if I can. So let's start there, man. What's new?
Yeah, you've probably been busy. I completely forgot we got a new football coach. Jesus, go Tigers.
I know, man. Good time. So what's new?
Yeah. So we got some new old Carter, batch 15 and batch 16 rye. I tried the 16 a couple weeks ago, and it's fantastic. But I think it's pretty light on the rye. It's like 51%. I think that batch 15 is like 95% rye. So they're vastly different between the two of them. I haven't tried the 15 though. The 16 was great, but they're $220. We got a couple new Penelopes. One of the Penelope Estate.
Hey, wait, real quick. I'm sorry. That old Carter. Are those allocated bottles?
Yeah, old Carters.
So
always allocated.
Right. So why wouldn't you have those in the raffle?
Well, I mean, those are like on the bubble of. They're not really raffle bottles. They're hard to get, but they're not really raffle bottles because it's hard to. We're very selective of what goes into the raffle, and that's. I mean, like those old Carters a couple years ago would have hit the raffle for sure.
Yeah.
Now they'll sit on the shelf for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's honestly that's how we base doing that kind of stuff. I mean, that's one of the factors. But if something can sit on the shelf for a few days or a week, that's not really a raffle bottle in my opinion.
Let's get. By the way, anything else? Beers or wines or anything people need to know about holiday parties?
I need to mention this. We're getting a Four Roses barrel at some point.
When?
Either at the end of the week, this week, or next week. I briefly talked to a sales rep earlier today, and they were trying to figure out the logistics of it. So just pay attention to our social media. It'll be hopefully the end of the week, but I would more than likely next week. But we'll post it on social media when we get it. So they were just trying to figure that out. I totally spaced and forgot to mention that.
Okay.
Four Roses barrel.
Let's get to those. Are awesome, by the way. You ever get a chance to get one of the Four Roses recipes? Get a single barrel, absolutely incredible, 10 out of 10. When was the last?
It should go pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So hopefully.
When was the last time y'all got a barrel? It's been a few years.
Yeah, it's been. I'm trying to think. It's been a few years.
Yeah, it's
2-3 years.
It's one of those things where, like, as soon as it goes on sale, it'll be sold out in a few hours. Like, there'll probably be a line the day it goes on sale, and it'll be gone. So,
I certainly hope so, man. I mean, the bourbon deal is kind of plateaued a little bit, so this will be a little interesting case study for that. I think it's going to fly, but this will be a good little case study for that.
Okay. Here's a question. Remember, email us, tweet us, text your question. Richard says, ask Taylor, you know anything about Sagamore Spirit Rye Sherry Finish Reserve Series? I was given a bottle of this last year. Haven't opened it yet.
I haven't tried that specific Sagamore. So Sagamore does like to do a lot of experimenting with finishes and stuff, like a lot of distilleries now, with Sagamore especially. I've tried stuff from Sagamore that is great, so I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, they were one of our sponsors for our Friday shows over at Don Juan this year. April Burkholder, former gymnast at LSU, is their brand rep coming over from Houston. And it was the first time I tried Sagamore, and you know that I love rye, and they do actually an exceptional job. That's one I would say. I don't know about that one he's specifically asking, Taylor, but that's an example of what we often talk about. Like, just because something's good doesn't mean it's expensive, and just because something's expensive doesn't mean it's good. So,
absolutely, especially in the bourbon world.
Let's see. Jason says, I've got a bunch today. Let's see if we can go quickly. Ask Taylor, best holiday cocktail. Love me some eggnog and bourbon.
What's wrong with eggnog and bourbon?
I think he's just asking for another one.
I mean, during the holidays, I love old fashions. I love Manhattans. Just the standard stuff. I'm not really a huge cocktail guy, but I do love eggnog and bourbon.
Brandon just sent me a photo. He sampled 5 consecutive years of the Pinhook Vertical series. It's crazy the difference year to year. How about that? It's really cool.
Yeah, I've sampled a few of them. I haven't had all of them, but I have the experience of tasting barrels side by side all the time, so I get to taste the vast difference between the exact same brand that most people don't realize that occurs between barrels. So it's kind of cool when you can do that on the shelf with something like that.
Brian said, hey, Taylor, are they ever going to make Dark Stella again? I don't know if I've ever had Dark Stella.
Yeah. Is he asking if they're going to make it again?
Yeah.
I doubt it very seriously. Well, once they do away with stuff like that, and they may make it again, but it probably won't see our market again. Who knows?
Los said, hey, Taylor, I got a bottle of Stag Junior in the wild for $50. How much should I be celebrating?
Well, it's Stag.
Yeah, they don't call it Junior
Stag
anymore.
Yeah. You should be celebrating. You drink it slowly, and I hope you like barrel proof.
Cole asked Taylor, getting more into Rise and Wheated. What are some brands I should look at?
I mean, if you're getting into Wheated, try to find Weller anywhere, obviously. With the Rise, I'm trying to think of some good Rye. I mean, I love Willet Rye.
Yes.
That's a standard bearer for Ryes, in my opinion, one of them. There's so many good Ryes out there. I could name a ton. Try Angel's Envy Rye, too, for something completely off the wall.
Eric asked Taylor, I make homemade eggnog every year. What bourbon do you recommend I use in it?
Anything, really. It just depends. A good full-flavored bourbon. I like Knob Creek or, even a good Four Roses.
All right, 20 seconds. David asked Taylor, what's a good whiskey or bourbon to give as a gift for $100?
$100 whiskey. Go get one of the Penelope Estate bottles that we have. Those are $100, and they're 10 years. The Penelope Estate stuff that I've had is fantastic.
Taylor Calandro, thank you, dude.
See you, man.
All right, man. It's after further review. Hour number 2 is staring you straight in the face. We get you caught up on everything from National Signing Day. Stick around.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Arco Power Systems. Arco.com, Arco.com, ARCCO. ARCCO. Is that the one you like Muse the best? Which is the one you like?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one.
ARCCO.
And Arco was their name. Arco Power Systems. We may be having fun there, but what we talk about with Arco is no laughing matter. This is reliable energy solutions for any type of business. Grocery stores, gas stations, banks, hospitals, schools, industrial facilities, so many more. Arco Power Systems are a Generac industrial generator dealer. These are standby generators for your business, for your industrial facility. Schools, municipalities. When the storm comes, the power goes out, you need critical backup energy solutions, and that is what Arco Power Systems provides. And it is all over the Southeast. Log on to arco.com, ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
I'm all your lock, Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Lock Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
With all the delicious chicken finger options, it was an impossible decision.
How about a box combo? Good. Now what can I get for you?
No, I want a Caniac combo with extra cane sauce, no slaw, 2 extra toast, and a half sweet tea, half lemonade.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Some uncomfortable conversations happening in Milwaukee. Megastar Giannis Antetokounmpo and his agent talking with the Bucs about his future, whether his best fit is staying or going to another team, reports ESPN's Shams Charania. The Bucs 11th in the East, and improving that roster won't be easy, explains ESPN NBA front office insider Bobby Marks.
They've got one first-round pick to move in a deal, one in either 2031 or 2032. This is a roster that is top-heavy in contracts unless you're going to move off Miles Turner, who's trade eligible starting on December 15th. So from a purely looking at it from Milwaukee's perspective, Malika, there's not much left there to go out and move.
Also from Shams, Chris Paul was not on speaking terms with Clippers coach Ty Lue for several weeks before his shocking ouster from the team. The Clippers felt Paul's style had become disruptive. Lane Kiffin's version of his exit from Ole Miss after taking the LSU job, different than that of Ole Miss athletic director Keith Carter. Carter said Kiffin was told several weeks ago that coaching the Rebels in the college football playoff wasn't possible if he took another job.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Thursday, I'll tell you why one of the teams I picked to make the Super Bowl is facing an elimination game in Week 14. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yes, sir. And a Mr. Toby Tom plate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. We're heading to Tampa. 13 minutes. Greg Auman will be here. Give us a preview of the Saints at the Bucs. Russ Mitchell in hour number 3. Recap this past weekend. Look ahead to the CFP. Remember, Russ has a Heisman vote. Diego Pavia is now the betting favorite to win the Heisman, by the way, after their blowout win at Tennessee. Could he actually do it without playing this weekend remains to be seen. But we'll talk about that with Russ coming up in hour number 3. We'll preview Bama, Georgia, in the SEC Championship game, of course, as well. Really good news here. Breaking news. Really good news on the LSU front for National Signing Day. Haven Finny, 4-star cornerback out of California, has officially sent in his paperwork, and he is now an LSU Tiger. This is fantastic news. So Haven Finny, if you don't know the story, was a was the 5-star number 1 cornerback in America for 2027. So he was the number 1 guy at his position in the country for 2027 out of the LA area. He reclassed, so he's enrolling early, basically skipping his senior year of high school. So he reclassed to 2026, and so he's still a top 100 overall prospect. But we had Haven Sr. on AFR back when Haven committed, and really made it very clear that this was a please find that for me, by the way, that this is a Corey Raymond deal, right? Like, Haven's here to play for Corey Raymond. I mean, that's it. And so if Corey, I know a lot of people have asked about Corey, this is a really good indicator. You know, the way that signing day has sort of shaked out here for LSU is a pretty good indicator that Corey Raymond's sticking around. I don't have any reason to believe otherwise, like why he wouldn't otherwise stick around. But Haven Finny, now a member of the class as well. Des Ellis, cornerback, is part of the class as well. You look at the other DBs, like Isaiah Washington, who's a safety. Aiden Hall out of New Orleans, safety. I get it. Corey doesn't coach safeties, but they're the secondary. Yes, I mean, great news that Haven Finney is part of this class. And that was one of the big ones that you absolutely wanted to get in this class. So as you look at it now, you've not had a decommitment yet today, which is important to note. That with all of the tumult and flux around signing day, you've not lost anybody. You're still waiting on a few to make their decisions and to formally send in the paperwork, but nobody has said they're not coming to LSU or has decommitted or anything along those lines. So that's fantastic news. You haven't lost anyone in that respect. You are still waiting on a few. The biggest one to sign today that we were sort of waiting on was Richard Anderson and Lamar Brown, were those two. Anderson did, in fact, sign. We reported, told you this at the beginning of the show, reported that after wavering because of uncertainty about who the position coach would be, if Blake Baker would be back as defensive coordinator, Frank Wilson, if he would have a role on staff, Richard Anderson's head coach at Edna Carr, Bryce Brown, and his representatives were at Football Ops last night for a 3-hour meeting with Lane Kiffin, with Billy Glasscock, the GM, with Blake Baker. And as I understand, they left that meeting feeling much more comfortable about the process. They were given, what I was told, clarity leaving that meeting. So that's fantastic. Also, I had 2 separate conversations today with folks who have had interactions in this respect with Billy Glasscock, the new GM, in the last 36 hours. And both effectively said the same thing, like, super impressive. Great job with the presentation of how he'll build a roster, how he'll build the staff. They said Lane Kiffin was authentic. He was transparent. And you might argue, and I know the criticisms of Brian Kelly at the end, which were that he wasn't really involved in recruiting. And to what degree that's true, I don't know. I think the thing I often say is, you got a roster of 120 players. You can, whatever answer you're looking for, you can find it. You can find guys that had a great relationship with the coach, find guys that didn't. Same with like a teacher. You had your favorite teacher in school, whoever that was. It had to be somebody in your class that hated your teacher. It's going to be the nature of it. But either way, whatever the case may be there, the good news is that it sounds like the guys that have come in are making a really good first impression on recruits, on some of the agents, high school coaches, parents. And that's fantastic to see. So all things good in that respect. Steve Wiltfong earlier today had I guess they're calling them Fong bombs, like a Woj bomb, but not a Woj bomb because Woj doesn't do bombs. They're Fong bombs. And he is predicting LSU to flip quarterback Landon Duckworth from South Carolina. That has not yet happened as of now, but they are predicting. Everyone's predicting that. Wiltfong was first to have it. And Steve Wiltfong was on Andy and Ari. I mean, we got to make the drop.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it until you just looked at me. When you paused, I'm like, what's he pausing? And I turned and Matt's just smiling. What's the song? Bang Bang?
Bang Bang, yeah.
Yeah, Jesse and Ari.
Yeah. That's Nicki Minaj's part when she's talking about Jessie J and Ariana Grande. Jesse and Ari. Andy and Ari. So good. We need to get that. We need to get the drop and make that. Anyway, Lane, here's Wilt Fong. While we play this, let's get that drop. Wilt Fong talking about Lane's impact as a recruiter.
The bump of Lane Kiffin at LSU is going to resonate with 2027s. Now, he is not a recruiter that's a 9-inning guy, but he's as charismatic a head coach as there is in the country. So when guys sit down in front of him, he's going to make them feel at home. They're going to trust that he's going to turn LSU around with what he did at Ole Miss and some of the jobs he's had historically. He's going to be a great storyteller. He's worked for Pete Carroll, Nick Saban, and he's been around some of the best football players that college football has had over the last 25 years. And again, he's articulate in his message for the program. He's excited to be at LSU. And so with that, the Tigers are already formidable on the trail. Top 10 classes consistently. Hasn't mattered who the head coach is. You're bringing in Lane Kiffin to maximize the guys you have on your roster.
It is worth mentioning that Lane Kiffin also, when he met for his introductory press conference, pull up 24. Musa added one to your folder, 24 from Monday. When Kiffin met with reporters and he was asked about signing day, remember what he said?
We have big picture thinking too. So we're not reaching or we're not signing kids because they're from this school or that school or any of that stuff, okay? We're going to sign the best players that we can on Wednesday, then go to the portal, which I have zero concern about the interest of players with that. Because I know what the interest was of players nationally, come play for us where we were just at. And now when you put that with this stadium, with that logo, I mean, makes me want to go get on the phone right now. But the portal's not open.
So we're not reaching. We're not signing a guy just who went to this school or that school. We're going to sign the best players, and then we're going to go ham in the portal. That's something that keeps getting underscored to me over and over again, is that LSU has a formidable war chest ready to roll for the portal. And right now, I don't know that LSU is going to finish with a top 10, top 5 class. I don't think necessarily that's their intention because they're not going to sign 20, 25 guys. Right now, they're at, with signatures in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 signatures in, and they're waiting on 5 more. Lamar Brown, Deuce Gerald, Trenton Henderson, Dylan Purter, Bryson Cooley. So you're talking about getting maybe to 16 or 17 if Duckworth gets in the class. So you're not signing a giant number there. You're really going to go ham in the portal in January. So stay tuned. Okay, we're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, door, siding. Oh, yeah, they do shutters too. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank vinyl siding. They do it all. They do it better than anyone. They are for a lifetime transferable warranty. Listen, if you want to go get quotes, you need to replace your windows. Get it. You want to go get quotes, fine. Just understand, Relief Windows is never going to be the cheapest. They're not. I'm telling you that up front. If you're going to get 5 quotes to see who's going to sell your windows at the cheapest price, that will never be Relief Windows. But they offer a premium product, the best customer service, the best install, service after the sale, lifetime transferable warranty, and they've been long enough to prove they can back up a lifetime transferable warranty. It's Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, they do shutters too. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Okay, y'all, we're going to head to Tampa. Our buddy Greg Auman from Fox Sports, covers the NFC South, primarily the Bucs there in Tampa, is going to jump aboard with us here in just a smidge. We'll preview Saints-Bucs from the Tampa perspective. Bottom of this hour, I want to circle back to the Blake Baker conversation, some updated odds on who the Tulane coach is going to be. I'll tell you what I know as of right now. Russ Mitchell will be here in hour number 3, so we got a lot to do, and glad you're hanging out with us here on AFR.
AFR.
I was over at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness earlier today, and there's a very interesting thing that's starting to happen. I'm very pleased to hear this. It means a lot of this is resonating with you. If you're a man and you're on hormone replacement therapy, testosterone, sermorelin, growth hormone, whatever it may be, if you're on hormone therapy already, I really want you to consider what it would take for you to switch from your current clinic to Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. And I want to submit this to you. First of all, number one, they've got the lowest prices, never any contracts, okay? There is no membership fee. There are some places where you have to pay like a monthly membership fee just to get your testosterone. Never a membership fee. And when you do your blood labs every 6 months, they don't charge you for that. They pick up the cost of your blood labs. That alone is reason to switch. I want you to consider switching. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Trust isn't given. It's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Glad you're rolling along with us here on this Hump Day edition of AFR. Russ Mitchell will be here in 1 hour from right now. I do want to give you an update as well. We'll go a little bit more detail here in about 15 minutes on what's going on over at Tulane, where we told you yesterday it sounds like Billy Napier might be pushing to the front for the Tulane coaching odds. The 4 names that I've heard as candidates for Tulane are Blake Baker, Billy Napier, Shannon Dawson, and Neil Brown. Those are the 4. And what seems to be a little bit at odds here is the difference is the athletic director, some of the administration want a coach with head coaching experience. That's what they had with their previous 2 coaches, right? With Fritz and with Summerall, both had been head coaches before. So Blake Baker, he would be a first-time head coach. There are boosters, however, who very much favor Blake Baker getting the head coaching job. So it's a little split there. I don't know how it's all going to shake. I do know that, Baker is intending to be back at LSU, but if your alma mater offers you the head coaching job, I think we could all understand why he would accept it if it's there. So we'll keep you posted as that continues to develop. Saints at Bucs this weekend. Greg Auman, Fox Sports, good enough to join us for a couple of minutes. Hey, Greg, we always appreciate the time, man. How are you?
Oh, good. Hope you guys are too.
Doing awesome, man. We appreciate it. Okay, they're all big in the NFL, but when you look at Tampa, only a half-game lead in the division right now against Carolina, does this one take on greater importance?
I think so. I mean, because things are so tight. I mean, the Bucs are still in a position where they control their destiny. They just need to not slip up. I mean, this is a team that hasn't really taken a bad loss yet. Like, they've lost 5 games, but they're all kind of teams you'd have, top 10 in the power rankings, that kind of thing. So I think for them, I think it's just a feeling of they took care of things with the Saints pretty well in New Orleans, and they just need to do the same thing again and make it easy down the rest of the way.
How different are the Bucs today than the team that beat New Orleans 23-3 in the Superdome last month?
I forget who exactly was there, who wasn't there, but I think they're definitely getting healthier. I think that was, you think about offensive pieces coming back, to have Bucky Irving, I don't think they had their right tackle Luke Gedeke that day, if I remember right. Starting to get receivers back, to have Chris Godwin back. They could, in theory, have Mike Evans back. I don't know if that's going to happen that quickly. No, I just think it's one of those where they've been, for the most of this season, an incomplete team, especially on offense. And they're just now starting to get kind of all the pieces together. But again, that doesn't mean that they win a game just because they got more pieces together. They have to take care of things for sure.
Greg, can you give us the update on Mike Evans?
Yeah, I mean, they opened he's had a broken clavicle, broken collarbone, and they opened his 21-day window to return to practice today. The Bucs really don't practice on Wednesdays. They essentially have a walkthrough practice, so it doesn't really mean a whole lot that he did anything today. I think tomorrow's kind of the first day where you'll be able to tell something. And Todd Bowles today was talking about how he thinks physically he's in really good shape. He's been running for a while, so the main thing is, how does he handle contact? How does he handle running routes and changing the direction of his body and things like that? So I think they feel good about him. I don't know if they feel good enough to just throw him out there on Sunday. Like, they could wait. They have a short week and have the Falcons on Thursday. But, yeah, I mean, I think this is a step in the right direction. I think they just want to be careful to make sure they don't rush him and put him at risk of any kind of re-injury.
What about Baker?
Baker seems fine. I mean, Baker, had an injury to his non-throwing shoulder that definitely made last week, and this time last week, a big question mark. But played the entire game. Didn't really take any hits last week, which helped. I think he was probably a little bit more careful about how he scrambled. Made sure he slid one time where he kind of had the open field, ran out of bounds another time. So I don't know that he's like full strength. He's been limited with a foot, with an oblique, with shoulder. But definitely not a question mark. He'll play on Sunday.
Greg Auman's with us. Fox Sports covers the NFC South and primarily the Tampa Bay Bucs there down in Tampa Bay. So, Greg, let's talk a little bit about this Tampa Bay defense. They're going to face Tyler Shuck. The first time they played, of course, it was Spencer Rattler under center. Remind us here about where that Tampa defense, where the strengths are and where maybe the vulnerabilities might be.
Yeah, they've kind of had an up and down season. Definitely not as good overall as they'd like to be. They're very good in takeaways. They're fine with sacks. I don't think they're getting the pressure they'd like to from their front four. Obviously, a good run defense team, Vita Vea, a big run clogger up the middle. They added Hassan Reddick as an outside pass rusher. He really hasn't had the impact that they would have liked for paying him $14 million. That first Saints game, obviously the big game for Anthony Nelson, who had subbed in as a part-time guy and had obviously the big pick six and forced a fumble in that game. So no, their secondary has probably been better than expected, but their pass defense I don't think has been what they want it to be. So there's definitely a sense of, I think facing a Saints team that's still missing, with the exception of Olave, they're missing a lot of their best offensive weapons. So I think if you can take care of Chris and keep him from taking over the game, there aren't too many guys that you'd say would beat you right now. It's a game they should win. They just have to be careful and do the right things.
In that 3-game losing streak, Greg, the Pats, Bills, and Rams, they gave up 28, 44, and 34. It averaged 35 points allowed in those games. What happened in that stretch?
Yeah, it's a couple different things. I mean, I think that, again, didn't get the pressure they needed. They didn't have Reddick in that stretch. They were missing at least one corner. They had 2 games where Dean wasn't there, and their rookie Benjamin Morrison wasn't there one game. So more than anything, I think they just haven't played well against the pass, haven't gotten off the field on third downs. This Bulls defense sometimes, I think, can be overcomplicated a little bit to where there's so many exotic things they're trying that sometimes even players that have been in the system for multiple years, like some of these players have been, can make mistakes and can leave seams open, and your better veteran quarterbacks. I mean, they kind of had a run there where they played Drake May and Josh Allen and Matthew Stafford back to back. So basically 3 of your top 5 or 6 MVP candidates right now. And it's been problematic for them. I think they definitely thought they'd be a better defense than they have been to this point. And they really don't have the same injuries to blame. On offense, they can say they're down these players, they're missing these 5 or 6 players. On defense, they're still missing Kalaiza Cansey, who's a really good defensive tackle for them. But beyond that, they're basically a healthy team on defense. They just haven't played as well as they should.
Greg Auman's with us here for a couple of more minutes from Fox Sports. When they have struggled defensively, what have been the things that teams have done well against Tampa?
I think it's 11 touchdowns of 25 yards or more, which is the highest in the NFL. 4 of them by rushing. I think they had given up 3 rushing touchdowns that long in Bowls' first 6 seasons. So more in 1 year than they had in the first 6. So just giving up a lot of bad long plays. And that's not just one person. There's not go attack this guy. They've had problems across the board. And again, somebody like Olave is definitely someone that you'd worry about for them in that sense. But I think they've done better from a takeaway standpoint than certainly they were last year, and probably better than they expected to be this year. It's just a little bit of a sink or swim kind of home run or strikeout kind of thing, where if they get to the quarterback, it's a sack, fumble, and it's takeaway. But if they don't get home, that blitz opens up a vulnerability and a hole that some of these quarterbacks have been able to really exploit and get to the end zone with.
What do you think the blueprint is for Todd Bowles on Sunday to get a win and get a little winning streak going?
Definitely starts with takeaways, just not committing turnovers as an offense, not doing anything to make things easier for the Saints. They've been pretty good about taking the ball away. So, I mean, multiple turnovers on defense, takeaways. I think anytime you're facing a young quarterback like Tyler Shuck, I think they're going to try and throw him off, try and misdirect different looks before the snap, pressure where you don't expect it, and try and, I think because they're missing Kamara, they're probably not as good in the run game. So I think you want to almost take away the run and force this to be a game where Tyler's thrown it 35, 40 times a game. That's how you're going to get to predictable throws and multiple turnovers and those kind of things.
We can see Tristan Wirfs catch another touchdown.
I don't know that. He showed up with an oblique injury on the injury report today. I think that went well. I'd be surprised if they go to that well again a week later. But big moment for Tristan, and I know he was super excited to get to have a touchdown. I guess he had 2 in high school, so it's not his first ones, but not many for a big guy like that.
Can't imagine high schoolers trying to tackle that man. That's incredible.
Right.
Greg Auman, Fox Sports. Hey, man, we appreciate it, Greg. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. Have a good one.
All right. It's after further review. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Thinking of buying land? Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Of course, you can log on to firstsouthland.com. That's firstsouthland.com for First South Farm Credit. The patronage refund is something I've told you about for years, as we've talked about First South Farm Credit, which effectively lowers your cost of buying land, of borrowing. So let's say it effectively reduces your cost of borrowing by about 1%. So let's say your rate's 5%. Well, the patronage refund effectively means like you're paying 4%. So learn more about that program. And man, if you were thinking about buying that hunting property, if it's 1,000 acres for agriculture, maybe 100 acres to build your family's dream home, whatever it is, you want to buy land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit, because for 100 years, more than 100 years, since 1916, First South Farm Credit has done one thing, and they've done it better than everyone else. They help Louisianians buy land anywhere in the lower 48. FirstSouthland.com. That's FirstSouthland.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out with us here on this Hump Day edition of AFR. We are presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. It is National Signing Day, the early signing period, so we are going to continue to keep an eye on what's going on there with LSU as Lane Kiffin's trying to put the finishing touches here on his first signing class at LSU. As we get more updates, we'll pass it along. The latest update right here at the top of this hour was that Haven Finny, the cornerback out of California, did in fact sign his paperwork, so he's officially an LSU Tiger. So we'll keep you posted on that as the day continues to roll along, if any of these others do commit. I guess the only other ones we'd be looking for today are Trenton Henderson and Dylan Purter. So Lamar Brown, looks like he will not sign today. Deuce Gerald's out of Georgia. He's expected to sign by Friday, but will not sign today. And then Bryson Cooley, the offensive lineman out of Laurel, Mississippi. Billy Embody of On3 reported that he'll sign on Friday, and he'll choose among LSU, Ole Miss, and Alabama, who are continuing to push for his commitment. So stay tuned on that one. All right, it is After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. We'll knock out a quick break, come back, get you updated on what we know about Blake Baker and Tulane and all that stuff. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, that's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon and get it done. As a matter of fact, in 8 days, we'll be doing the show over at Gordon's office right there off of College Drive in Baton Rouge. And excited, or I guess it's off of Corporate in Baton Rouge, but right there off the interstate. Fantastic day, as it'll be the Gordon Bicycle Giveaway in Baton Rouge. Now, they do the bike giveaways at the Gordon McKernan Injury Attorney offices all over the state of Louisiana. But the Baton Rouge Bike Giveaway Day is coming up a week from tomorrow, so Thursday the 11th. Gordon is giving away 600 bicycles to less fortunate children around the state of Louisiana. So you can go to gordonsbikes.com, gordonsbikes.com if you want to learn more. We're just excited to be there next week to participate in this really cool day and cool giveaway where you're going to get to see so many children thrilled and happy to get a brand new bicycle. You know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. Whole team on wild.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home, with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
LouisianaSports.net and 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge are teaming up to send you to the All-State Sugar Bowl. Enter now for your chance to win 2 tickets to the big game in New Orleans on Thursday, January 1st, plus a 2-night stay in the city and $200 in expenses. Don't miss it. Head to LouisianaSports.net/contest to enter. We'll announce the winner Monday, December 8th.
One of the big stories as Lane Kiffin continues to put together his coaching staff is going to be what happens with Blake Baker, LSU's defensive coordinator. And I think a lot of this is known as of this point, but we're starting to put some of the pieces of the puzzle together. For what it's worth, and I know we went through these odds all throughout the LSU coaching search, the odds to be Tulane's next head coach right now, we have them up at LouisianaSports.net if you want to go read this piece. But Blake Baker is actually now the odds-on favorite to be the next head coach at Tulane at 2-1 odds. He's followed by Billy Napier, who's right behind him at 3-1. Charles Huff is 4-1, then Shannon Dawson 5-1. Tyson Helton, Will Hall, Brian Kelly at 10-1, interestingly enough. Then some other long shots there. But I think we've talked about this a good bit. Blake Baker on Monday did interview for the Tulane head coaching job, and it'll be interesting to see what direction Tulane goes, because as I understand it, it's split there. That you have a lot of boosters and people close to that program that really want Blake Baker to get this job. I mean, he played at Tulane in the early 2000s. That's been a really good G6 program. Now back-to-back coaches with Willie Fritz and John Sumrall getting Power 4 jobs off of, as a springboard from Tulane. So with a really good coach like Blake Baker, it would be an interesting spot if he wanted to go be the head coach at his alma mater. And while, as I'm told, Blake Baker has expressed that he intends to stay at LSU verbally, and I reported that Baker was in that meeting Tuesday night with Lane Kiffin, GM Billy Glasscock, and representatives for Richard Anderson. He's continuing to work for LSU naturally, but until a deal is done, I'm going to say the same thing I said all throughout the Lane Kiffin thing. Until the deal is done, signed, ink dry, coach at the podium being introduced, it's not done. So Baker may fully intend to return to LSU unless and until he gets offered a head coaching job, and particularly at his alma mater. Now, our buddy Garland Gillen down in New Orleans is also reporting that Blake Baker has interviewed for, he's with WVUE, that Blake Baker has interviewed for the Memphis head coaching job as well. So Tulane and Memphis now both interviewing Blake Baker for their vacant head coaching job. And this is part of the deal, man. I mean, you have a great assistant, they're going to be sought after for promotions. That's what you want, because the alternative is you hire bad assistants that you end up firing because they're not very good. So, the onus is on the head coach to make sure you keep hiring good assistant coaches. I had mentioned there were 4 people I was told it was really in the mix for the Tulane job. It was Napier and Blake Baker, Shannon Dawson, who's the OC at Miami, and then Neil Brown was the other. Neil Brown, the former West Virginia head coach. Well, Neil Brown has now been named, this is official, he has been named the head coach at North Texas. So he replaces Eric Morris, who took the head coaching job at Oklahoma State. So the coaching carousel is spinning. So you eliminate Neil Brown from the mix there for the Tulane job. He'll be coaching another team that wears green. But we'll keep an eye. And Baker remains of great interest to this conversation because, I mean, obviously he's a great coach. Players love him, tons of energy. But keeping Baker in tow really solidifies the continuity on the defensive staff. Because if Blake Baker were to leave, it is very likely that he would bring with him Kevin Peoples, the edge coach, and Jake Olson, the safeties coach, who both came from Missouri to LSU on Baker's staff. They were on Baker's defensive staff at Missouri and came to Baton Rouge, and Blake got the DC job here. So you would be turning over not only effectively your whole offensive staff with Lane Kiffin coming in, but at least 3 members, possibly 4 members of your defensive staff, depending on what happens with Kyle Williams, if Blake Baker gets one of these head coaching jobs. So listen, I'm impossibly torn here. On a personal level, you love to see people succeed, and Blake's a great dude, and players love him, and he's a fantastic coach, and you want to see him get a great opportunity to be a head coach. You'd hate to lose him at LSU. But really, it comes down to a decision that Blake Baker would have to make. Do you want your path to being a Power 4 head coach to be from being a successful coordinator at a major program? Or do you want to go cut your teeth at a G6 program, have success, and then springboard into the Power 4? That's what Willie Fritz did. You know, went from Georgia State to Tulane, then to Houston, which is now in the Big 12. What John Summerall did, going from Troy to Tulane, now to the University of Florida. So do you want to follow that path? Go from Tulane to potentially a Power 4 job, or do you want to do something like what Dave Aranda did, LSU DC to Baylor? What Dan Lanning did, Georgia DC to Oregon? Or Kirby Smart, Alabama DC to Georgia? I mean, those opportunities are there. They may not be as plentiful as G6 jobs to go be a head coach, and certainly not at your alma mater if Tulane offers. So it's just for Lane Kiffin right now, the immediacy was, as you're just sort of checking the box of what he had to do. One is, all right, who's coming with you from Ole Miss? That's immediacy. Who's coming on your staff from Ole Miss? Boom. And now because of the calendar being as stupid as it is, Lane Kiffin shows up here on Sunday, and 72 hours later, less than 72 hours later, it's signing day. So there was all this path of, all right, let's evaluate very quickly the commitments, the roster, what are the needs, all that sort of stuff within 48 hours and get ready for signing day, which is happening now. And then once signing day or the signing period is done, so the focus will shift back to finishing out the staff, then looking at, all right, what's going to be available in the transfer portal. So a whirlwind first few days here for Lane Kiffin, and maybe no bigger staff decision than Blake Baker. And what's going to happen there as we watch to see with Blake. Will he be back at LSU, or will he get one of these head coaching jobs? As we know, we'll certainly pass it along to you. We're brought to you by Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Me, Terrio, Tilly, Joe Morales, our whole staff at Parish Construction and Roofing. Tell you all the time, roof repairs, roof replacements. We do gutters, soft wash. We can do it all. So maybe you got all that gunk and grime on your roof. We can come soft wash your roof, beautify it. That'll actually get all that algae off your roof. We can extend the life of your roof. It'll make your roof healthier. We can also soft wash the front of your home, the exterior of your home, your hardscape, everything. So we want to beautify your home and your exterior spaces before your Christmas party at your house. We can help you out at Parish Construction and Roofing. Go to parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. We'll always give you that free, no-obligation roof inspection for any type of roof, commercial or residential. Of course, with TPO, and any type of roof you can imagine. Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Well, it is after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Mutual do Tigers and the Pros to wrap up hour number 2 in just a bit. Russ Mitchell will be here in about 45 minutes as well. Lots of opinions coming in on Lane Kiffin, all the goings-on there as well. This was an interesting one that I heard yesterday. I was driving home. I was listening to the Chuck Oliver show. Chuck's based in Atlanta and does a college football show 365 days a year. And every Tuesday, Chuck has Dave Bartu on with him. I mean, you may not know the name, but Dave Bartu has an organization called College Football Matrix. The way Dave describes it is he tells stories with numbers. So he's an analytical guy, and so he puts grades effectively to coaches and staffs and things like that. And so he has clients that are coaches and athletic directors, even NFL teams that ask for his analytical opinion on certain coaches, head coaches, coordinators, all that sort of stuff, grades, rating, who's good, all that, whatever. So it was interesting. I was driving home and I heard Chuck ask Dave about Lane Kiffin coming to LSU. And so it's just an interesting dynamic because you're not getting the opinion of a former coach or a former player or someone who's emotional because of how Lane Kiffin left. You're just getting someone with an analytical brain who's got these metrics in place about what it means to have Lane Kiffin at LSU. Thought this was interesting.
I mean, what he's done at Ole Miss is way above the talent. Ole Miss is a career second, third-tier recruiter. You know, for the century, I think they're 17th in the country. That doesn't win national titles ever. And so the fact that they're in the conversation is amazing. Lane has staffed well, and so now that he's at LSU, look, I don't care if it's Lane Kiffin at LSU or John Summerall at LSU. You know, you give him a good coach. LSU has the third most NFL starts in the last 10 years. The talent's there. It always has been. Good Lord, man. Ed Orgeron won a national title at LSU. So LSU has the talent. Now they got a good head coach who is pretty good in one-score games. And here's the big kicker. Does he get to keep Baker and that entire defensive staff? That thing was top 10 through week about 9. If that whole defensive staff comes back with Lane, it's just national championship conversation right now.
National championship conversation right now. The thing that I've been asked so much on every interview I've done since Kiffin's been hired is, what are the expectations year one or the first 3 years? How much of a grace period ramp up does he have? And the answer is none. You have no grace period. You have no ramp up. There is no such thing as a slow build anymore. You have the portal. You have NIL. You have all the resources you need. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Kurt Cignetti took over the worst job in college football history. Indiana and Rutgers are the two worst power programs in power conferences in college football history. Kurt Cignetti walked in and in year one got them in the playoff, and in year two has them in the playoff. Verge Osbury sat at a podium when he was introduced as the interim AD and said, unequivocally, LSU has to be in the playoff every year. That may not be a realistic expectation, but that is the expectation. And you don't need to hear me say it. An analytical guy just said, yeah, it's compete for national championships immediately. That is a realistic expectation. Days like today are a big part of it. Of course, the portal coming up in January as well. All right, it's After Further Review. Brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, title sponsor for our Hump Day shows all throughout the year. Let me knock out our final break of hour number 2. We'll come back. Muse will do Tigers and the Pros. Stick around.
AFR.
It is not too late to give your family a swimming pool for Christmas. Oh, Scone, what are you talking about? Swimming pool for Christmas? What is this? The Griswolds? I mean, it could be at your home. Mele Kalikimaka and all that stuff playing in the background. Why not? Be a heck of a Christmas morning, wouldn't it? You can do it. Hey, look, here's what I want you to do. If you've ever even thought, man, I'd love to put in a pool. I want, for whatever your objection has been, price, all the mess it might cause, whatever. Here, I just want you to take this one step. Okay, I want you to go to their website, DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. Just take this first explorative step. Go to the Pick Your Pool tab on the homepage. You'll see 11 different designs already made, how you can work through it, pick your finishes. It's all right there for you. Do that right now. DuplessisBuilders.net.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Attention diesel mechanics. River Parish Contractors has an immediate full-time opening with benefits. Valid licenses and TWIC card is required to apply. Call or text Big Jake today at 985-479-9858 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on Apply Now. Come be part of the team that values hard work, has a high standard of excellence, and delivers projects on time and safely. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
My father, J.B. Falgout, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgout.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
It's time for Christmas on the River, Cajun style. Join us for the 35th Annual Festival of the Bonfires, December 13th through 15th at Lutcher Park in St. James Parish. Enjoy great food, live music, local crafts, Santa's Very Merry Forest, and carnival rides. Plus, we'll light a new bonfire on Friday and Saturday in preparation for the arrival of Papa Noel. The 2024 Festival of the Bonfires is sponsored by First American Bank and Trust. Log on to festivalofthebonfires.org for more information.
This menu is a masterpiece, delivers every time.
This is the worst party ever. Raisin Cane's!
Let's go!
The party is saved!
Peter, Mr. Billingsley.
Celebrate the holidays with Raisin Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Russ Mitchell in about 25 minutes. We'll give you the full National Signing Day recap and all that good stuff as well. By the way, Ole Miss Athletic Director Keith Carter was a guest on Super Talk Mississippi, and we heard Lane Kiffin on Monday kind of give, Sunday in the interview with Marty Smith, and then Monday at his press conference, his kind of account of how things went, and then through various statements. Keith Carter, the AD at Ole Miss, was on Super Talk Mississippi, gave his account. So we'll hear what the Ole Miss Athletic Director had to say. We'll get to that coming up after Sports Center here in about 10 minutes from right now. But right now, Musso has Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
Let's start with a quick injury update from around the NFL here involving the former Tigers. Patrick Queen, told you yesterday, he suffered a glute injury in their game Sunday against the Bills. He did not practice today dealing with that glute. It's expected that he will end up missing some time there, which is disappointing. Lloyd Cushenberry for the Tennessee Titans, he's got a foot. He also did not participate today. Don't know if it's a toe, but it's definitely a foot.
And as we determined, the toe is not part of the foot. It's just connected to the foot.
Right.
The toe is completely different from the foot.
And as we talked about a little bit last week, Jaden Daniels expected back at practice here this week was left elbow limited for the Commanders in today's practice. And then
elbow?
Left elbow specifically.
He's got an elbow?
Yeah, he's missed 4 games, I believe, already with it as well.
With an elbow.
With a left elbow.
With a left elbow.
Left elbow. And Reed Ferguson
totally different from the right elbow.
Reed Ferguson returned to practice for the Bills. He's got a neck. He was a full participant today, though.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of Reed.
Yes.
Yeah, big fan of Reed. Not a big fan of Blake.
You don't like Blake as much.
No. Reed's the Yankee fan. Blake is a blank. A blankety blank. Yankee hater.
Yes. Blake's a great guy. Hey, if you were watching the Pelicans last night.
Thanks.
Why? But if you were watching the Pelicans last night.
I was listening.
Yeah, autograph. Yeah.
Yeah.
Naz Reid had a great night in the Smoothie King Center for the Timberwolves. 18 points. Shot 50% from the field and from 3. Also assisted on 5 makes and grabbed 5 rebounds. He's awesome. And I kind of wish he played for the Pelicans.
Should have stayed.
Yep.
Why would you wish that evil upon him?
Because I like Naz Reid a lot, and I think he could make the team better.
No, he wouldn't.
You know what he does?
He would come here.
He stays healthy.
Nope. He would come here and he would get hurt and be part of a miserable organization that's poorly run with bad ownership, bad front office. They make bad decisions on everything. They don't keep guys healthy. It would be terrible. I don't wish that on Naz Reid at all.
Speaking of NBA injuries, a couple real quick. Cam Thomas, he's missed 4 weeks. Friday will mark 4 weeks with a left hamstring. He is getting per the Nets head coach, an MRI at the end of this week, so they'll follow up soon. They're expecting good news. And then Trenton Watford will be reevaluated next week for an adductor injury. That's Tigers and Pros.
Presented by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com. Y'all, if you are hitting the road for Christmas, going to see family, make sure before you do, you check out our friends at Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. If you need new tires, remember Shawbills is going to sell you the best tires on the road at the cheapest price possible. They got their driving home for the holidays promotion. Right now, you can get a $150 MasterCard prepaid card after submission when you buy a set of 4 new Select Nitto brand tires. That offer is valid through December the 14th. So you've got 11 days to take advantage of that. You can get all the info at ShawBillsTire.com or in-store, ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com. Shawbills. We keep you rolling. All right, great to have you aboard with us here on signing day. Tigers out there doing work. Lane Kiffin's first signing class of the LSU Tigers. The New Orleans Saints, meanwhile, back on the practice field as they get ready for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers down in Tampa this weekend. And the injury report is kind of a, you hate to say, but a star-studded Saints injury report, as a lot of key guys on the team were not there at practice today. So Taliesin Fuaga, Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave, Justin Reed, all did not practice for the New Orleans Saints here as they push off from the dock, getting ready for their game down in Tampa against the Bucs. So as the week goes along, we'll keep you updated on all that. Tampa's injury list is a bit longer. The Saints more significant. Hour 2 after Sports Center.
AFR.
Check that. It's going to be hour 3 after Sports Center. We did not invent a DeLorean, hop in, crank that thing up to 88, and go back in time. But if we did, of course, we would go back in time, and we would still find parish restoration. Because it doesn't matter if it was last hour, last year, last decade. If you need remediation, if water intrusion, you have mold, think you might, you need to sanitize your home, office, other public space, commercial space, parish restoration can help. It's more effective, it's more cost-effective, and it's more efficient. They're cruiser-friendly, they're expertly trained, they're going to come in, they have these Sprinter vans, they'll drive up to your home, your office. If you need your vehicle, maybe your vehicle had water intrusion. Maybe your vehicle, you bought a used car from a smoker, someone had pets in the vehicle, it has that odor. Easy. Come up, spray the patented non-toxic dry fog. As soon as the fog dissipates, boom, back in, free and clear. ParishRestoration.com.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates, we know each case and client are unique, and that no 2 cases are the same. But one thing remains constant, and that is our passion to help our clients. After an accident, we know your life has changed, which is why we passionately fight to make you and your family whole. Remember, whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. We're here to serve you.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Every winner knows a great play starts with a solid game plan.
and the right team by your side. At Sunshine, we're here to keep your operation running strong. From tractors to harvesters, we've got the John Deere equipment you need to tackle every job with confidence. Because when the work's done right, there's more time for the things that matter, like cheering on your favorite team. Make Sunshine Quality Solutions part of your playbook this season and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Could Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucs be headed for a breakup? Sources tell ESPN's Shams Charania, the two-time NBA MVP, and his agent are having conversations with the team about his future and whether his best fit is remaining in Milwaukee or a move elsewhere. A resolution to the talks expected in the coming weeks. Milwaukee's dropped 8 of its last 9, is 11th in the East. Past moves make it difficult for the Bucs to improve their roster to please Giannis, notes ESPN NBA analyst Chinea Gwumike.
I'm not surprised because they've exhausted all options, in my opinion. They not only emptied the cabinet, they emptied the kitchen, and on top of it, for their future, they mortgaged their house. So what else is left for them to sort of move, whether it is with assets or just on the team, to maintain this expectation and vision that they collaborated on to win a championship?
Shams also reports before Chris Paul's shocking ouster from the Clippers, he and Coach Ty Lue were not on speaking terms for several weeks. The team felt that Paul's leadership style had become disruptive. Lakers won't have Luka Doncic tonight in Toronto, out against the Raptors for personal reasons. Marcus Smart also out, lower back injury management.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Keep your career moving forward with growth opportunities, great pay and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces. Go to careers.progressive.com and apply today.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right.
Hour 3. Off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR. Presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Murray.
Murray, present.
Musa. And a Mr. Toby Tomplin. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. And oh, by the way, it's a hump day.
It's hump day.
Richard Anderson is an LSU Tiger.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Lamar Brown is not.
Hump day.
Yeah, anyway.
It's hump day.
Signing day.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Tigers doing work.
Hump day.
Still work to do.
It's hump day.
Lake Baker.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Could be the Tulane coach.
Hump day.
Could be the Memphis coach.
It's hump day.
Could be the LSU defensive coordinator.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
We don't know.
Hump day.
We'll find out
It's hump day.
after the break.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Not really.
Hump day.
Russ Mitchell in 12 minutes from
It's
right
hump day.
now.
It's hump day.
Oh, man.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Those Ole Miss people.
Hump day.
It's going to be fun watching them be so bad next year.
It's hump day.
They're going to be bad next year.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
And I'm going to laugh heartily at them.
Hump day.
Saints are going to play a game on Sunday
It's hump day.
because the schedule says they have to.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
All right, let's get rolling here. We got to get to Russ in about 11 minutes, and we'll talk about the SEC championship game this weekend with Bama and Georgia, rematch from a game in Athens earlier this year where Kirby went temporarily insane and passed on an opportunity to tie the game late in the fourth quarter. But digress, we'll see how that one goes this weekend in the ATL. We'll talk some Heisman stuff with Russ as well, who's a Heisman voter. That's all coming up here in a smidge. Okay. Quick update on National Signing Day. So LSU went into the day with 15 commits. During the day, they flipped Corey Barber. So Corey Barber, wide receiver who had been committed to Ole Miss, flipped and signed with LSU. He's out of Pinson, Alabama, a 4-star. The two prospects a day ago that joined LSU's class, the three prospects a day ago that joined LSU's class all signed. Braden Allen, the wide receiver out of Lafayette Christian, who was an Oklahoma commit. J.C. Anderson, the 4-star tight end out of Illinois, that was an Ole Miss commit, is now officially a Tiger. And Ryan Miret, the offensive lineman out of Miami, is now an LSU signee as well. The big-time prospects that were a little bit on the fence. For several weeks, remember, Shea Dixon had been telling us that Bryson Martinez, the big offensive lineman out of East Ascension and Gonzales, Martinez passed on the overtures from Texas, stuck with his commitment, signed with LSU. As a matter of fact, he was the second player to sign this morning behind Jabari Mack out of Destrehan. So that's really significant. I think I relayed this to you before, but Bryson Martinez, Lamar Brown, and Richard Anderson all did high school NIL deals this summer with Duplessis Builders, a great sponsor on our show. Derek Duplessis, awesome dude, LSU alum, all that stuff. And one of the things that stood out to me about the convo that I had with Bryson, we did some interviews, so we did a fun video where we did a cold plunge at the Duplessis office, the showroom there on Airline in Prairieville. But one of the things that stood out to me about Bryson when we talked about why he picked LSU, over and again, he kept referencing the opportunity to be close to home and close to his mom. And that doesn't change ever. There's a lot of things that can change. Coaches can change, head coach, position coach, all that sort of stuff. But if your mom lives in Gonzales and you want to just play where your mom can see you play and be right there down the road, I mean, that never changes. And I'd be curious to know from Bryson Martinez's perspective if that's why ultimately he stuck with his decision to sign with LSU. All the conversation about your Frank Wilson is certainly that impacted your Richard Anderson, who did sign with LSU today. It's impacted other players as well. But remember, Frank is the New Orleans area recruiter. Aiden Hall, 4-star safety out of Edna Carr, teammate of Richard Anderson's. Aiden Hall signed with LSU today. There was sort of a question of would Aiden Hall stick with his commitment? Given the uncertainty around Coach Frank. So I think all things considered, they cleared a good many of their hurdles. Now, You can go check out the signing day tracker at louisianasports.net. It's right at the top of the homepage. And again, louisianasports.net is always free. Everything's free. There's no paywalls, no article limits, none of that stuff. So it's all free. So you can see that signing day tracker. And so we have it broken down. Players that are committed but have not yet signed, players that have signed, and then players that were committed and flipped. Nobody's flipped today, which is the good news. And we're still waiting on official word from Landon Duckworth, the quarterback who has been committed to, he's out of Alabama, but he has been committed to South Carolina. Took a visit to LSU for the Louisiana Tech game. LSU was pushing hard to flip him. Today, all the recruiting pundits predicted a flip to LSU. Steve Wiltfong did it first, and everyone else followed suit. So we are anticipating that Landon Duckworth will flip to LSU. We just have not heard that word officially from Duckworth, and LSU has not processed his paperwork yet. So if that happens while we're on the air, we'll pass it along to you. So as of right now, there are 5 prospects that we're still waiting on to sign. Lamar Brown out of U-High, the number 1 player in the country, has not yet signed, but I mean, literally as I was coming on air today, I took a phone call from someone, let's say, very familiar with this process, and they're confident that Lamar will sign before this early signing period ends on Friday. Deuce Gerald's, the defensive lineman out of Georgia. Remember, he was maybe at one point a silent Oregon commit, but ultimately picked LSU publicly over Oregon. He will not sign today, and there was a signing ceremony planned. I mean, we got the media alert that there was a signing ceremony planned for Deuce Gerald's at his high school gym. He's not signing today. It is expected also that he will sign by Friday. Bryson Cooley, the offensive lineman out of Laurel, Mississippi. Billy Embody, our buddy from On 3, reports that he'll sign on Friday. It'll be LSU, Ole Miss, or Alabama. He's been committed to LSU, but thought was he might flip to Ole Miss. Well, Ole Miss's coach is now the LSU coach, so does he stick with his LSU commit? We'll see. And then the other 2 are Trenton Henderson, one of the top edge prospects in the country out of Pensacola, and then Dylan Purter, the safety out of Alabama. Those 2, there's no word why they wouldn't sign today, but they haven't yet, so we're still waiting on that. So Tigers still with a little bit of work to do in this early signing period with 5 commits out there still yet to send in their paperwork. If any of them pop before we get off the air, we'll certainly share that with you. All right, it's After Further Review brought to you by Evamore, E-V-A-M-O-R, evamore.com, evamore.com. Drink Evamore, a healthier form of hydration. It is Evamore Natural Artesian Water. It is Evamore. It is a Louisiana product. It is Evamore, a Louisiana product with national distribution. Delicious, crisp, clean-tasting Evamore. You can get it at great local retailers. I drink it every single day. Get the 20-ounce, the 32-ounce, the 64-ounce bottles, whichever you'd prefer. Pick it up at great local retailers. Or if you can't find it, ask for it at your favorite retailers. You can always order Evamore online at E-V-A-M-O-R. Evamore.com, evamore.com. And thanks to everybody who always sends me photos of your Evamore. Either you tweet them to me, you DM them to me, you text them to me. I love screenshotting those and sending them to Shane and the gang over at Evamore. They love to see it. So thanks to everyone who's given Evamore a try and has converted. E-V-A-M-O-R, evamore.com. All right, it's After Further Review. I intended to get to this stuff about Keith Carter here, but I wanted to get that signing day update for a lot of people, driving home, just getting off of work. Wanted to kind of catch up on everything. The one thing, though, from Keith Carter, before we break and get to Russ, that I thought was interesting, we talked about it yesterday, was the decision to let Charlie Weiss return to coach the college football playoff, because that makes Keith Carter a hypocrite. He said Lane Kiffin couldn't be the coach of the LSU Tigers and coach Ole Miss, but they're letting Charlie Weiss do it. Here's why.
Well, first let me say this. Charlie Weiss is a really, really good person. And Charlie is a really, really good offensive play caller. So we had been talking to Charlie about coming back and calling the plays. Charlie was committed to that from the very first moment. Honestly, I think Charlie was put in a little bit of a tough spot with some of the way, he was asked to go to Baton Rouge and those type of things. But, man, I could not be more fired up about having Charlie Weiss back here. We were in constant communication, not only with Charlie, but with his representation. He was telling us from the very get-go that he was going to come back and call the plays, and he was not going to leave this team on this playoff run. So a lot of credit to him for the way he's doing this. And, man, I can't wait to get him back here. And the guys feel the same way.
He starts by saying he's a really good person. Shot. And no mention whatsoever of the fact that you said, sir, that Lane Kiffin couldn't be the head coach at LSU and coach Ole Miss in the playoff. So why is it different for Charlie Weiss, who is contractually the offensive coordinator at LSU, yet he's going to coach Ole Miss in the playoff? Hypocrites always get exposed. And Keith Carter is weak. He sounds like a nice guy and probably a very smart guy. But he is weak as a leader. At any point during this process, he could have held Lane Kiffin's feet to the fire, could have made a decision, should have made the decision the Friday before the Egg Bowl. Instead, he put out that weak statement saying Lane Kiffin would announce his plans after the Egg Bowl. Why? Because you wanted Lane Kiffin to coach the Egg Bowl so you have a better chance of winning it. I mean, this rivalry hasn't mattered in a long time, at least not to LSU people. I mean, if you're old enough to remember Billy Cannon's run, you might care, or Archie Who. I'm not. Ole Miss hasn't been relevant in 6 decades. But boy, did this just add a new layer of intrigue. That will be fascinating theater. And I am really going to enjoy watching Ole Miss stink next year. Because trust me, they will stink next year. All right, it's after further review. Let's grab a quick break. Russ is next. AFR.
After further review.
You checked out Glow Resources yet? You've heard me talk about Glow Resources for years now. And I don't want that just to be background. I want this to be in the forefront of your mind. If you're a business owner, if you're an HR manager, a hiring manager, an operations manager, if you're the person in your business, maybe you have a business that's 10 people, that's 100 people, 1,000 people, whatever your business size is, if you're the person in your business responsible for finding the right people and you're looking for permanent solutions, I'm not talking about temp staffing. That's not what Glow does. They help you find permanent employee solutions. So if you're trying to find the right person for that skilled blue-collar labor job, welders, pipe fitters, crane operators, if you're trying to find someone for an office job, they have their professional placement division, from office assistants to C-level management and everything in between. You're looking for that permanent solution that's going to help make your business more efficient, more profitable, you need Glow Resources. GlowResources.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builder School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
With all the delicious chicken finger options, it was an impossible decision.
How about a box combo? Good. Now what can I get for you?
No, I want a Caniac combo with extra cane sauce, no slaw, 2 extra toast, and a half sweet tea, half lemonade.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, Whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim, which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
Attention diesel mechanics, River Parish Contractors has an immediate full-time opening with benefits. Valid licenses and TWIC card is required to apply. Call or text Big Jake today at 985-479-9858 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on Apply Now. Come be part of the team.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. Russ Mitchell.
Kicking the tires and lighting the fires. Russ! Literally.
Well, I'm proud of Russ. I think Russ deserves it.
It's football! Rusty, come on up here. Absolutely, I thought that was going to happen because it's state. It's supposed to happen. You know, I haven't had much of a chance to talk to you man to man, Russ. How are things out there at DBU? I want you to stay here and take care of things, Russ. The only way you can point up is up. Not going in our yard, Russ. It's going in our living room. It's like Troy. Can't see the line, can you, Russ? Put your foot on his throat and choke him out. Take it, Russ.
Why did you say the only way you can point up is up? I don't remember why you said that.
I was in the middle of something and I couldn't get it out, and I was like, "It's point up."
I just don't remember the context of that conversation. Anyway, how are you?
Kicking tires, lighting fires, baby.
A guy who loves all of his children the same, right? No reason you're any happier today than normal, right?
I love all my children the same, although I may have popped a cork on Sunday. Possibly.
Okay, so why are you then excited, bullish, happy, whatever adjective you want to use about the Lane Kiffin news?
Well, I mean, for a number of reasons. First of all, he's the best coach out there. I would argue for the modern era that we're playing. I've seen a lot of people worried about recruiting. You hired this guy for this modern era where the portal is as important, if not more important, than recruiting high school kids, which he's going to just leave him alone. Everybody leave him alone. He knows what he's doing. Just step away and let him do it the way he wants to do it. So, you know, and then as a guy who covers college football, when LSU is good, there are some teams when they're good, we all eat steak, which is to say those of us who do this, Texas, Alabama, USC, Notre Dame, LSU, Georgia, when those schools are doing well, we all do well too. So, you know, I like seeing LSU with a good coach, and I think this is the only one I wanted for LSU.
How big of a step back do you think Ole Miss takes losing Lane Kiffin?
Well, in general, a huge step back. Hiring Pete, who is a great guy and a great defensive coordinator, and you know,
is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, everybody that I've spoken to in that space, I think but I mean, a head coach, he hadn't really been on the top lists of any head coaches I had seen for any major program. No one was looking for him. That's not to say he couldn't be a good head coach. And it's not to say that, you know, we've talked about LSU, where LSU is today versus where LSU was, say, in the 1990s. Today, LSU doesn't have to take a flyer on some 45-year-old coach from Michigan, you know? You don't have to go up and grab Sparty's coach and bring him down here. Ole Miss does. Ole Miss has to take a chance on some guy out at, some second grade Florida State school and see whether or not he can become what everyone, envisioned him being. But for the last 6 years, there's not a better coach in college football, from my opinion, than Lane Kiffin, and now he's LSU's coach.
He's I've said undeniably he's a brilliant offensive mind. I do think there is a fair question to be asked about Lane if he can be a national championship caliber head coach. Because, Russ, a year ago, he had the team to do that, right? I mean, it was the most talented team in Ole Miss history a year ago. They set a record for draft picks and all that sort of stuff. And they inexplicably lost 3 games they had no business losing. I wonder maybe where you fall on Lane and what he still has to prove as a head coach. Not as an offensive mind, which is undeniable, but as a head coach.
It's Old Miss.
Or Old Miss?
So, Ole Miss hasn't, well, I did that on purpose. Ole Miss hasn't been relevant in 60 years. 60 years. He made them relevant for the first time in 60 years. He barely coached at USC, and he coached for 1 year at Tennessee. How many chances did he have to go as a head coach to the national championship game?
He was the head coach at USC. He was the head coach at Tennessee. I mean, you have resources there to do it. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that, well, it was only 1 year at Tennessee. And remember what he was coming in and replacing, right? Remember where Tennessee was when he got there.
It was the end of Fulmer. I mean, look, in 2007, they were in the SEC championship game. 2008, they took a step back, fired Fulmer, and then brought Kiffin in 2009. So they weren't that far removed from relevance at that point.
Well, I thought if you remember back that long, that Tennessee had pretty much fallen off a cliff in terms of the people that they had in the roster, in the locker room, and it was a rebuilding year. I think he only went 7-6 that year, right? And everybody was pleased.
They did. It was 7-6.
So it's not like he really had a chance to win a national championship that year. And you could argue at USC that he wasn't successful there. And I think the Lane Kiffin you see today, first of all, he's not the Lane Kiffin that was at USC, both professionally and I think he would probably say personally. He's matured much more since then, and to be honest, I think LSU right now is in a better position than USC was then. So I think he's going to accomplish great things with the Tigers.
You're right. The thing that a lot of people do omit about his time at SC is when he went there was post Pete Carroll when all the sanctions came down. So he had a tough time there as well. So I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm having the conversation. Obviously, it's an outstanding hire. It's the guy that everybody would have wanted.
You're right, though. I mean, he hasn't won it yet.
Anything from this past weekend that really stood out to you in the conference?
You mean in terms of the games?
Yeah, the games, yeah.
I expected A&M to play a little bit better. I didn't expect Texas to be able to run the ball. I mean, Wisner had how much? 155 yards against A&M's defense rushing. So I was a little bit surprised with that. I was surprised with how well Auburn played in the Iron Bowl. I was exceptionally surprised by Kalen DeBoer going for it on fourth down.
Oh, God.
Which, I mean, I watch a lot of football, folks. I mean, I watch so much football that before, in the old days, I used to have a network of people that would record their local SEC games on their local channel and send me FedEx me the VHS tapes. And I used to watch them during the week. That's how much football I watch. And when he went for that tied on fourth down on, what was it, the 4-yard line or whatever, I nearly fell out of my chair, which made me think this guy's going to go coach somewhere else. I mean, I was shocked that he did that. I mean, it was almost like a guy who's already been fired and he's got nothing to lose. It was such a weird, people say it was a gutsy call. To me, it was a crazy call.
Yeah,
it's not the call you make.
Yeah, take the lead, man. What do you do?
You take the lead.
So
I don't know. Maybe the reason why Penn Shame is not very worried right now is that maybe DeBoer's going up there.
You think
I know he denied it.
You think there's a realistic path for that to happen at this point?
I don't know, man. I'm busy. I'm busy actually paying attention to real things. But, if I was a conspiracy nut and wanted to, get conspiracy nuts excited, I would say, yeah, I think there's, I don't think DeBoer is happy. Did you see him after that game? Did you see how exhausted he was? He was near tears. I don't think he's as happy down in Tuscaloosa as people are making out.
Well,
So,
I would love to see them lose to Georgia and then him leave. Oh my God, what an epic Bama is burning that would be the next day. I just can't even. Please God, let that happen. Russ Mitchell's with us, college football news. He's on Twitter at Russ Mitchell CFB, at Russ Mitchell CFB, if you want to give him a follow. Russ is also a Heisman voter. Hey, we posted this story up at LouisianaSports.net. I just got some new odds into my inbox. And Diego Pavia, this is according to sportsbetting.ag, Diego Pavia is the new betting favorite for the Heisman Trophy. What'd you say about that, Mr. Heisman voter?
It's interesting. I would have voted already. I always vote on the Monday after the season ends, which you and I always debate about. You're wrong, but we debate about it every year. This is the first year that I can remember that they're not allowing that. You can't vote. You only get 48 hours to vote now for some reason. And it starts on Friday and ends on Sunday. I don't know what that means, but I'm just sharing that. I don't know, dude. There's so many guys. Last year was one of the closest votes in the history of the Heisman, between Gentry and Hunter. I think there's really nobody that I like for the Heisman this year. I mean, Mendoza, people had until I heard you. Well, look, first of all, it's not the most valuable player award. That everyone says it's the most valuable player for his team, or it's not. It's the awarded annually to the most outstanding player in college football whose performance best exhibits the pursuit of excellence and integrity. It's not who's the most valuable to his team. That would be an MVP. So if I look at who had the most outstanding player in college football, Mendoza, the quarterback for Indiana, outside of the Oregon game, they have faced almost no top 20 defenses. Julian Sayin is the only one in the group, the Ohio State guy, who's got the top offensive line in the country, one of the best wide receiving cores, and the best defense. So he has way too much help. Pavia's got no big win, and his big statistical performances here at the end of the year were against the pass defenses for Kentucky and Tennessee. And Jeremiah Love, it's really hard for a running back to win if you don't rush for like 1,800 yards. He only rushed for 1,300. I might pick someone who's off the list.
Who would you pick? Who would be in the mix?
Have you, and again, I'm not saying who I'm picking. I'll keep thinking about it. But, Trinidad Chambliss, if he had an Ohio State logo or a Texas logo on his jersey, or an LSU logo, by the way, he'd be a top 3 guaranteed New York pick. He has more passing yards than Julian Sayin. He's got more touchdowns than Mendoza. He's got a better TD to interception ratio than Reed. He's got a higher quarterback rating than Pavia. 3,000 yards, 18 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. Plus he rushed for 500,000. And if they had played him in those, mop-up games early against Georgia State and Kentucky, he'd have 4,000 yards. I don't know, man. He's not even in the top 10, which surprises the heck out of me.
He's going to look so good in purple and gold next year.
I love all my children the same.
Yeah, he only had 6 passing attempts against Georgia State in the opener and didn't have a passing attempt in the Kentucky. So Really, he didn't play the first 2 games. I mean, imagine if he had been the starter for all 2. If he had 2 more games of statistics, what that would look like, you might be onto something there. If he had 2 more games of statistics. All right, let's do this. We're running late. Let me break because I want to come back. I'm sorry. Did you have something?
No. I was just going to point out how wrong you were last week when you were making fun of me when you said into the commercial break that we would come back for the renowned prognosticator and picker Russ Mitchell because I went 80% against the spread in my picks.
Awesome,
Matt.
How much did you bet on those games?
I don't wager on
right,
children.
So I don't care what your opinion is if you're not actually putting real money.
I'm happy to spend money, brother. I don't spend it gambling.
Okay, then I don't really care what your picks are if you're not wagering your own money because you have nothing behind it. I'm serious.
I wager my reputation.
Don't
Go
care.
away.
All right, we got a break. Good then. Since you won so much money last weekend, you can buy our dinner at Supper Club when you come in town. It's
No.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Darren James and Associates, brokered by LPT Realty, agent225.com, agent225.com for Darren James and Associates. Y'all check them out. Hey, listen, if you're thinking of selling your home, you need to call Darren James. I'm going to give you Darren's cell, okay? It's 335-7666. Call him right now. Text him right now. It's his actual cell number. 335-7666, 335-7666. With Darren, you're not just another client. You're a partner on that journey of selling your home or whatever this influential moment is in your life. Because if you're moving, it could be that you have a new job. It could be that you are you are maybe upsizing as your family grows, or maybe you're downsizing as you become an empty nester, or maybe, for whatever reason it might be. Whatever that reason might be, if you need to sell your home, you need Darren James. Agent225.com, agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
All right, we continue with Russ Mitchell. He's on Twitter at Russ Mitchell CFB. All right, SEC Championship game this weekend. Georgia-Bama rematch. Saw the game earlier this year in Athens where the Tide were shut out in the second half, but managed to hang on. Why might this game be different than the first one?
Hey, I want to say one last thing about Kiffin before we jump into that question. Is that all right?
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
I want to congratulate Verge on what a great job he did. You know, Verge and I, our time at LSU overlapped, and
you went to LSU.
That's so funny, and you know he's not a very loud guy. I don't know him very well, but you know, he's pretty quiet, and I think he handled this perfectly. He doesn't raise his hand and say, "Look at me," or pat himself on the back a lot. And I think he deserves, from everybody that I've spoken to that was in and around this process, he seems to have literally nailed it. So congratulations to LSU on a great hire, and to Verge on doing such a fantastic job. Landing the best coach in football, I think.
Literally nailed it?
Literally.
I mean, I don't think he literally nailed anything.
I think he literally nailed it.
I don't think so. I think you're misusing the word literally. I think there was no nail.
Don't be a word Nazi. Let's go to the SEC championship game.
I'm going to be that. You've known me long enough to know I am going to be that. Okay, yes. All right, so why might this game be different than the one in Athens back in, what was that, Russ, September?
Well,
was it beginning of October? What was that game?
It was a long time ago, brother. Let's hope Georgia shows up for the kickoff this time. First of all, if you remember at the beginning of the season, the first 4 or 5 games, I don't know if Georgia scored in the first quarter. I mean, they barely showed up. I had friends, Georgia football associate friends, who were like, they didn't even bother turning on their TV till the second quarter. I mean, it's like so bad. So let's hope that the team shows up at kickoff and they don't fall so far behind and have to claw back. The other thing is that if you remember in that game, Alabama ran the ball pretty well. You notice they ran the ball well against Auburn too. Auburn had the 4th best defensive line against the run in the conference. And they ran the ball well there. They've got some injuries now, and that might impact that. But, you know, I think that, and the other thing that was really interesting in that game, if you remember, Alabama converted on like 70% of their third downs, whereas Georgia converted only 2 third downs. So Georgia had a really, really bad game, a really bad start, and still nearly won. And if you're looking at how both teams are playing right now, Gunnar Stockton is playing better. I mean, he struggled. He didn't have his best game against Tech, but it's a rivalry game. Whereas, you know, Ty Simpson has struggled in the back half of the season. Played better. Excuse me. He played better in the front half of the season and in the middle. So I think Georgia's playing better football right now. It's going to be in Atlanta. I know Alabama's got Georgia's number.
Yeah.
And I expect it to be a tight matchup. But if Georgia does the things that they've been doing well lately, lean on the ground game, lean on time of possession, force Alabama into third down and longs, which they didn't do in the first half of that game earlier in the season, and stay disciplined, I think the Bulldogs will win.
Okay. I mean, this is insane. As I look back to 2008, 1, 2, 3, Bama won 7 in a row, and they've won 10 of 11. The only exception was the 33-18 game in the championship. It's the only one Georgia's beaten Alabama. 10 of 11 is just astonishing for a program like Georgia that has been so good for so long now. So dominant at the top of the sport, and they just can't. It's like that logo lines up against them, and they can't beat the logo. It's a weird thing, man.
How far back was that? How far back were you going? Was that back to Richt?
That was 2008. So, yeah, back to Richt. 2008 would have been Saban's second year.
Saban's first year, yeah. If you recall, Saban's first year, right?
No, his first year was 07.
If you recall, Mark, who's maybe one of the greatest guys in all of football, he really struggled in that last 10-year window or that last stretch of his time at Georgia. I remember against teams, I wrote a column towards the end of his career that in the previous 20 games, right before he retired or moved on, in the previous 20 games against teams that just were over 500, he was like 5-17. Mark Richt. So he really struggled against winning teams. So, it's not just Alabama. He struggled against all winning teams. And then Kirby, it's hard to beat your older brother. And Saban was Kirby's older brother. And so it's hard to beat those teams.
Yeah. It's just fascinating, though, to look at that series for whatever the reasons, just to see it go the way that it has. So but you think Georgia wins on Saturday?
I do. I think that Alabama, if you're an Alabama fan, first of all, what are you doing in Louisiana? Second of all, go home. Second of all,
a lot of them outside of the state, though, Russ, do hate watch this show, by the way.
I know. I'm just teasing. Anyway, I love all my children the same.
No, you don't.
If you're an Alabama fan, what you want to do to win this game is be balanced. In your games where you've dominated or played well, you're balanced. You use play action to leverage Ty and help him get into a good place. Balanced run pass and the play calling, and you're effective. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they'll have an effective rushing attack. I would be shocked if Georgia doesn't come out on the opening kickoff wide awake like they've had 6 espressos. I don't see Georgia sleepwalking through the first half, and I think all of that will combine into a Georgia win in a good, exciting game.
All right, we're really short on time. Sunday they'll announce the playoff field. How many SEC teams get in? Who do you think gets in?
As long as I think Texas and Vandy are not going to go. And we can save a conversation about that for another time. As long as Alabama doesn't get blown out, I think Alabama gets to go. And so you're looking at a lot of SEC teams, brother.
So Georgia, Ole Miss, A&M, Bama, 4?
And Oklahoma.
Oh, OU, of course. Yeah, okay, so 5. Okay, 5. All right. All right, we'll be on the lookout, see how it goes. Russ Mitchell, College Football News, at Russ Mitchell CFB if you want to give him a follow. And because he's such a great sports bettor, he's going to take all those winnings and buy our dinner at Supper Club the next time he's here. I'm really looking forward to that. Thank you.
Hey.
Yeah.
Lane State.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
It looks like Lane State. Just felt like I wanted to say.
What is going
on?
Goodbye.
My computer is talking to me. I don't know why.
What in the world is happening right now? I don't
know. It's my computer.
Regrettably, we have to go because what just happened there? Now why was that? Oh
I think he left the chat, or either his computer self-destructed. I don't know.
We need a meme, Russ Mitchell. You need to turn that into a GIF. We need a GIF. Your meme, Russ Mitchell. All right, it's AFR. Jimmy next. Otterlock, stay here.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Watermark in the Renaissance, the Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown, Watermark Baton Rouge's premier hotel property, the Renaissance right there, Southtown Baton Rouge, a gorgeous spot to have all of your events, any event that you have coming up, from a board meeting for 12 people. Their grand ballroom can host 500 people. So if you have a fundraiser, maybe you have a school event coming up, maybe it's an awards banquet. My goodness, Renaissance Baton Rouge is just the perfect place. They can manipulate their space to accommodate whatever event that you may have. I told you when we launched LouisianaSports.net, we had our launch party right there in that space between Tallulah and their terrace, which is their outdoor patio. So there was this indoor-outdoor flow of the event. They had the portable bars that came, so the bartenders were there for everybody. It was outstanding. So no matter what event you may have coming up, remember Renaissance Baton Rouge. It's Renaissance Baton Rouge.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I received at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades. But our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Down the stretch, we come final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Always love telling you about Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com. Getting close to Christmas. Holiday time is here. Maybe you need that white elephant gift, the perfect bottle of wine, that bottle of whiskey. Maybe you got to bring something to that holiday party. Grab and go, great desserts, if it's that floral arrangement, or you're just doing your grocery shopping, whatever it may be. Rouse's has got you covered. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. 70 locations from Lake Charles to Orange Beach, points in between. The Coca-Cola truck's going to be there at Rouse's. Get all the info at their Facebook page or at Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Rouse's, this feels like home. All right, let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Auto Locks.
Auto Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, how are you?
What's up, Matt?
Oh, man, another day. Winding it down, man. How are you?
Good, man. Good. Another good slate. We
small loser last night. We had the right side that the ACC was going to get the best of the SEC last night. 6 out of the 9 they won, but we didn't get the right ones. And Kentucky is still without a quality win. They cannot get it done. Let's get to some more SEC and ACC matchups. Before we do that, let's start in the Big Ten conference play. Indiana is like LSU. Indiana does not have a quad 1 or quad 2 game yet. They are undefeated. They're number 11 NET right now, but going on the road at Minnesota, I think the 8.5 is a little bit too much here. We're going to take the Gophers at home at the Barn plus 8.5 against Indiana. Going to the ACC-SEC matchup, we've got 3 ACC teams tonight, all underdogs. SMU going to Nashville to take on Vandy. Vandy 10.5. Andy Enfield, a fine coach for, of course, Florida Gulf Coast, USC, and now he's back at SMU. We're going to take the Ponies plus 10.5.
Up to 11.5, by the way, right now at DraftKings.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Very good. Let's get it. Don't be a moron. Bet more on it. Let's get after it. So the Willie Wade's crew going to Auburn, Alabama, and he and Bruce Pearl shared an attorney through their troubles, and so the Bruce Pearl actually advised him to take him. But anyway, NC State, we're going to take the Wolfpack plus 6.5. I think this is going to be a fun game to watch on TV tonight, taking Will Wade and the Wolfpack plus 6.5. And then Virginia going to Austin. This is a short line here, plus 2.5. We're going to take the Cavaliers in the points at Austin. So 3 ACC teams. Again, remember they won 14
1 minute remaining
last year. SEC right now, conference strength. They're the 5th rated conference, and probably the highest they can get, Matt, is about to number 3, if that's the case. So not nearly the season so far in basketball for the SEC, where they got 14 teams in last year.
Where are you tomorrow, Otter?
We're at the original Walk-Ons on Burbank, just off of Nicholson. So doing our thing over at the original Walk-Ons.
Sounds good, man. We appreciate it as always. Good luck tonight.
All right, good luck.
All right, that is Jimmy Yacht. This is After Further Review. Putting a button here on a signing day episode. Thanks to Russ Mitchell. Thanks to Greg Auman, who was here. Taylor Calandro. You missed anything? AFR On Demand, presented by Breck Golf. Book your tee time at golf.breck.org. Golf.breck.org. All right, we're going to get out of here. Be back for Thursday edition of AFR Muse Poly. Thanks. Y'all have an awesome night. See you tomorrow, 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, remind you about South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland, southpointvw.com. Say it every day. New and certified pre-owned. So, yes, you want a brand new vehicle, great time to do that as we approach the end of the year. Take advantage of those year-end specials. Sign and drives going on. 0 down, 0 to it. Signing, no first month's payment, no security deposit. Sign your name, drive away in a brand new Volkswagen from South Point Volkswagen, but also certified pre-owned. Tell you all the time, my buddy Mr. Kerry Manuel, who's the pre-owned manager over at South Point, incredible pre-owned selection. Extended warranties, great selection, not just Volkswagens. You know, South Point moves so many new vehicles that people come, they trade in their old vehicles. So when you talk about their used car selection, it's an amazing inventory, not just of Volkswagens, but of all different makes and models. Check them out right now at southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. Airline just north of Highland, South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction?
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
This menu is a masterpiece, delivers every time.
This is the worst party ever. Raisin Cane's!
Let's go!
The party is saved!
Peter, Mr. Billingsley.
Celebrate the holidays with Raisin Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
It's time for Christmas on the River, Cajun style. Join us for the 35th Annual Festival of the Bonfires, December 13th through 15th at Lutcher Park in St. James Parish. Enjoy great food, live music, local crafts, Santa's Very Merry Forest, and carnival rides. Plus, we'll light a new bonfire on Friday and Saturday in preparation for the arrival of Papa Noel. The 2024 Festival of the Bonfires is sponsored by First American Bank and Trust. Log on to festivalofthebonfires.org for more information.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.